Republic of Football on your favorite radio station, 97.3 City FM. This is the only place to listen to every weekend, Saturday, Sunday. We're always excited to be here. Well, what are we here to do? We're just here to do one job. Bring you all the updates from the major European leagues. You know, when it gets to weekend, right? The boys are actively, they are very busy. Cooking some cash, making some money. And this is the place to listen to the analysis. While you're listening to us doing the analysis, then you're checking your slips too, you know. Making sure that you're winning some cash. It's Saturday. You want to stock up some cash, then go hard on Monday. Yeah, then when the money is done, you start again. You kind of ashe. Welcome to the show. I'm Gabby Affair, and you're listening to 97.3 live on YouTube, City Sports Ghana, and live on X City FM. That we also live on TV, Channel 1 TV. Nyaki Williams celebrating. Okay, we'll get into that a bit later. It's always an interactive show, so you can send in your thoughts on 0539986996, 0539986996. If you are watching us on YouTube, you can also leave your comments there, and I'll be glad to read. If you are watching or listening to us on X, just leave your comments there too. I'll be super excited to read them as well. Let us know your thoughts. Chelsea and Arsenal in action later tomorrow. We'll get into that game a bit later. But Manchester City are in action today. They take up Leeds. I will be asking some few questions today. One of those questions will be, or is that, can Man City keep the pressure on Arsenal? The title race. There will be a poll up pretty soon on YouTube, so you can go there, vote, leave your thoughts as well with us. The second question will be, which dressing room would you rather be in, Arsenal or Manchester City, and why? The guys will get into that. And the last one, can Liverpool, no, not the last one, the last part one, can Liverpool grab one of the Champions League spots with 10 games to go? Manuel Angelo Kwache is just smiling because he knows his Lords will bottle it. And then we'll take you to Germany. I'm sure a lot of people are not keeping tabs on what Dortmund is doing. They're actually on a 16-game unbeaten streak. Yeah. Borussia Dortmund win today. They close the gap to 5 points between they and Bayern Munich. I mean, yeah, Jamie Inter holds this view that the company probably might end up also bottling the league. Yeah, because Bayern have lost the game already. But let's see how that unfolds. Welcome again to the show. I'm Gabi Ofe. Join us 0539969996. Just like we do every weekend, at the tail end of the show, I'll activate the phone lines. And you can call us and share your thoughts with us as well. I've got Manuel Angelo Kwache in studio with me. Yahweh Jamie Ty is also here. Then Kobe O'Bain is also here with me. Shining Brother 3. He's here today. Yesterday on Panorama, somebody texted and said, last week, Gabby Affair brought Shining Brother 3 to the studio. That's just by the way. Well, a lot of games to look forward to today. Starting off from the English Premier League. Match day 28, I believe. Let me quickly run you through the fixtures just in case you're driving. You are listening to us on radio. You have no idea who is playing who. Well, as we speak, Bournemouth are taking on Sunderland. There's 1-0. That game, 83 minutes played. The Vitality Stadium. as part of for the 3 p.m. batch of matches, there's Burnley taking on Brentford. Liverpool will play West Ham United at Anfield. Then there's Newcastle United taking on Everton at St James's Park. The later 5:30, Leeds United will take on Manchester City for the final game for today. When you head to the championship for some Ghanaian interest there, Norwich City, they're beating Leicester City by 2-0. Let's see, Leicester they will go relegation. Hey, Charlie, no, Fatal and Jordan. For the French Ligue 1, later 4 p.m. there is Rennes taking on Toulouse. At 6 p.m. Monaco will take on Angers. And at 5 p.m. there is Le Havre up against Paris Saint-Germain. In Germany, Borussia Mönchengladbach will take on Union Berlin. 2:30 p.m. Bayer Leverkusen up against Mainz. Also at 2:30, and then Hoffenheim will take on St. Pauli. Also kicking off at the same time. Then there's also another game. There's Werder Bremen taking on Heidenheim. Then Borussia Dortmund will take on Bayern Munich. That's what they call the Klassiker. Let's see if Dortmund can get one past Borussia Bayern Munich later today. The Signal Iduna Park. That's where that game will be taking place at. When you head to Spain, before Spain, there's let's get to Italy. Como are taking on Lecce. 10 minutes played already in that game. Is goalless between Como and Lecce. At 5 p.m. there's Verona up against Napoli, and Inter Milan will take on Genoa at 7:45 p.m. For the Spanish La Liga, there is Rayo Vallecano taking on Athletic Bilbao. 54 minutes played in that game, and guess who scored for Athletic Bilbao? Ghana's very own Iñaki Williams. Yaminta just told me today before I jumped on to the show that Iñaki has to score. The World Cup is coming, so he needs to get back on the scoring sheet, and then he did that. Yeah, so Iñaki equalizing for Rayo Vallecano. Later at 3:15 p.m. there is Barcelona up against Villarreal. Hopefully Thomas Partey gets onto the starting 11 for Villarreal. At 5:30 p.m. Mallorca will take on Real Sociedad. And Real Oviedo up against Atletico Madrid for today in the Spanish La Liga. So that's the games coming up today for the major European leagues in there. Yeah, so the first poll is up. The question we're asking is that can Manchester City keep the pressure on Arsenal in the title race? 2 answers for you. Yes, they can. No, they can't. We're asking this question because City play today. They take on Leeds United. Depending on what the results would be, somewhere puts pressure on Arsenal. And Arsenal respond. It's about 11 or 10 games, depending on the number of games the clubs have played. Some have played 28, some have played 27 to end the season. So go there, leave your thoughts with us, and you can also vote. And then let me welcome my guys. I've got Yao Jamie in studio with me, Mano, Kwachi, and Jello, and then Kwabna Bain in here with me. Technical support from Daniel Squashy, rocking his hoodie black, seated beside me and making sure that things are smooth and nice. Daniel, you good? Guys, welcome to the show. It's good to see you.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, we are here again. A lot of games to look forward to. Let me take just your initial thoughts on what you're expecting today. There's a lot of Ghanaian players featuring for their clubs in there that we can look up to. One is already on the bench for Leicester City. There's another playing for Iñaki Williams has already scored for Athletic Bilbao. Thomas Partey will be in action later today against Villarreal. Hopefully, he gets onto the starting 11. Real Oviedo, there is also Kwesi Sibo in there for Real Oviedo. Initial thoughts. Let me start off with you, Kwache.
Just like you said, it's getting to the end of the season, but it looks like there's still a lot of exciting football to happen. Just on the show, my initial thoughts on when you mentioned Iñaki, because last week we were having a discussion about Ghana's striking options.
Yeah, the striking force.
Yeah, and
who starts for?
Yeah, we were talking about how Jordan Ayew, maybe at his age, maybe he's not still at the level to be leading the lineup. So if Iñaki starts scoring, I think that could be positive for the Black Stars long term.
Yeah.
Yes.
You mentioned that Iñaki has to start scoring.
Yeah, he has to start scoring. I mean,
it's not like his plays in the Black Stars is shaky, or he's taken. I mean, based on what he's done.
It's not taken, but it is quite shaky. I mean, considering all the politics that come with the Black Stars, especially in connection to the Ayew's possible return to the Black Stars. That's why I said that he needs to start scoring. But even before I get into the Iñaki thing, yes, about the championship game that we are observing between Leicester City and Norwich. I mean, beyond Fatawu Shahaku and Jordan Ayew, there's also Ghanaian interest on the Norwich side. Because there's Jeffrey Schlupp, but he's not playing.
Jeffrey forgotten, man.
He's not playing. He has a hamstring.
How many games has he played since he moved there, though?
I think he's played a fair amount, but he's dealing with a hamstring injury, and so he's not playing in this game. And there's also this chap who had a good run, but unfortunately he's dropped off. Force Namankwa. There was a time he was quite.
That's true. He started so well.
He was almost more or less a consistent member of the Black Stars rotation.
Okay.
But he didn't manage to keep his form, and so he's dropped out of the picture. But he's also dealing with a hamstring injury, so that's one of the reasons why he didn't feature in this game. But Jordan has come off the bench in the 76th minute. He replaced Pat Sendaka. And so, that's a little bit on the Ghanaian interest. Now, back to the Iñaki Williams issue. Look, the thing is, has he lost his place? No, I don't think he's lost his place. But like I said, it's a bit shaky now. Because if you look at, like I said, the politics that come with the Black Stars and directly, indirectly, the level of influence it has on selection. That's why I say his place in the Black Stars is a bit shaky, because Jordan Ayew is there. There's Kamaldeen Suleiman. These days, Mohamed Kudus isn't played centrally. He's played out wide on the right side as an inverted winger. So more or less the starting positions are locked down, because there's Antoine Semenyo on the left, Jordan through the middle, and Kudus on the right. So the backups, you normally have Jose Pencil on the right, or Fatawu Shahaku on the right, with Kamaldeen Suleiman on the left. Then you have maybe Brandon Thomas Asante to the middle, and Iñaki Williams to the middle. And then you also have to factor in a guy like Christopher Babonsu, because of his connections to some big wigs in the Black Stars. Let's be real about it. It's part of the politics. And then you have to factor in the Ayew issue. So if you are Iñaki Williams, you've not had the best of runs with the Black Stars. You've already played at the World Cup, and there's a chance for Christopher Babonsu to play his first World Cup. There's a chance for the Ayew to play in his fourth World Cup.
And you know the funny thing?
I mean, you wait and you think about the politics that come with it. Oh, you get a chance to make the Ayew a record, give the Ayew the record. Those kind of things. It will play a factor, because Asamoah has played in 3 World Cups, 2006, 2010, 14. The Ayew played in 10 and 14. And the 2022 World Cup. So he gets a chance to be the first Ghanaian to play 4 World Cups. And like I said, the politics were heavy. So in that sense, Iñaki Williams, if he's not pulling his weight, it could turn out to be problematic for him. And like I've said so many times, at this point, from the outside looking in, Otuado doesn't have any sway when it comes to being firm on controversial personnel selections.
Okay.
Back in the day, he was firm, where he said no, he doesn't see Dedayu being part of the squad. Remember that?
Yeah, that press
episode?
conference.
Yeah, and Dedayu wasn't part of the squad. But now, with Dedayu playing 90 minutes back to back in 3 straight games, and the chance to get the record, and he Otuado, he having his moral rights or moral grounding and more or less authority weakened because of his inability to qualify Ghana to the AFCON, and some strings being pulled in order to get him to stay. I mean, those strings that were pulled, you owe those people a favor.
Yeah.
So when those people are in power positions. So when those people say, okay, between Iñaki, Dede Ayew, and let's say Christopher Barbosu, one has to go, 2 have to stay, and Iñaki Williams isn't pulling his weight, it's very possible Iñaki Williams will be the odd man out, and those other guys will end up going. So for me, yeah, he started giving us something solid.
So in summary, he has to let his performance on
he
the
has,
pitch for club side
he
speak
scored
for
now.
him. Yeah.
They have the reverse fixture to play in the Copa del Rey, the semi-final against Real Sociedad.
Yep.
They are trailing by a goal on aggregate. If he can lead that turnaround, maybe get a goal or a couple of goals and get them to the Copa del Rey final, yeah, that would be something solid to build on to close out the season. But other than that, yeah, he could end up not making it to the 2026 FIFA World Cup with the Black Stars.
Governor, your initial thoughts on the Ghanaian players featuring today?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, I would like to piggyback off of what Yao was saying and ask a question. So, with Iñaki Williams, we see his performances with his club. We see the level of commitment and professionalism that he exhibits. But the question I want to ask is, when he steps onto the pitch in a Black Star shirt,
he's a different beast.
I wouldn't say he's a different beast. My issue with Iñaki Williams at the Black Stars is not even with him. It's with the people around him. Because at times, when I pay particular attention to Iñaki Williams on the pitch, you can see he's making runs. He's making an effort. He's trying
but
to
the services
win
are
the ball.
not coming.
Exactly. The ball doesn't seem to go to... I don't know if I'm the only one who's made this observation.
I've observed that too.
Yes, the ball tends to not go to him, whether it's from Jordan Ayew, whether it's from Kudus, whoever it is around him. They don't seem very interested in giving him the ball. I don't know whether it's an issue of trust. I don't know whether it's an issue of communication. But whatever that might be, that has been a huge stumbling block for him in his career with the Black Stars. Because I believe that he's someone who, when he finds his feet somewhere, he can be very dangerous. He can be very proactive. He's a hard-working player. He's someone who is willing to run, even though he's not the most prolific goal scorer. I think compared to the people he has around him, and when I say the people he has around him, I mean the competitors for that number 9 spot. I think he could be the best. He could rise to the top. So I don't really have any doubt about him getting on the plane, but then starting, and then the question mark would be over him starting. And if he does get the opportunity to start or come from the bench, will he get the same service that his counterparts are receiving?
Okay.
That's the main issue. Apart from that, looking at the other Ghanaians in question, as for Leicester, I mean, the downfall has been dramatic. It's really because a couple of seasons ago, or I think it was even last season, I thought they could have even come back to the Premier League. But then there have been a couple of transfers out.
They would end up in League One.
Yes, and it's amazing to me. I'm flabbergasted at the fact that they could fall this far. Because who have they lost? Who have they really...
Because they're now in the relegation zone. No?
Yes.
They're losing now.
Yeah.
34, Oxford United do have 29 points. Sheffield Wednesday are gone. Because they...
And then they had some points
deducted, yeah. So they actually have -7.
So...
Yeah, and they got
relegated. They're not even part of the league, so it's more like
Exactly.
23 teams competing.
And their relegation was confirmed when they lost to their rival Sheffield United.
So they are just the rest is just dashing points
just
to
cruising.
Yeah, but Leicester's story.
I mean, but
is
for Leicester
very-
to were deducted points. That's
Yeah, they
kind
were
of their
docked
whole
some points,
problems.
yeah.
And
And it's the second time actually Leicester have been docked points.
yeah,
Because I think last season or 2 seasons
Yeah.
ago,
Yeah.
they were found for the same infractions and they had some points docked.
Yeah.
And then this season again.
but I mean, for them in particular, if you look at, I think, was it Sheffield United? I don't think it was Sheffield United, but one of the teams in the Premier League, they also had their points deducted. I think it was Nottingham Forest when they were in the league.
Yeah.
Nottingham Forest had their points deducted. I think either Villa or another team had it, and they were able to stay in the league.
Yeah.
So
I believe it was
some of the
Everton.
team made a deduction that if the problem with overspending is that we're just going to be deducted some points, if we're able to bring in quality players who can almost make up for that difference, then we don't necessarily need to always comply. I think Leicester's own is their problems. I think that when they went down the first time, they sold most of their quality players. Like they lost Dewsbury Hall, they sold most of the the players that helped them stay in the Premier League. So now they were a championship team that were now trying to come back to the Premier League.
Yeah.
And that one comes down to how good your management is. And they've also had to switch managers a lot. So, yeah, you said you're with Gary Rowett now. They
Yeah,
tried,
he was appointed, I think, last week. Yeah.
yeah, they
It
tried
was
with
after the points
Cifuentes
deduction.
earlier. He also had a good record in the championship with West Brom. But I think
Things went south with him.
and
He wasn't winning games. And then the point deduction too came.
and fairly or unfairly, there's a lot of pressure on the how do you call it, the chairman now. Say he's the son of Kuhn,
Yeah.
the guy his father accidentally died in the airplane
plane
crash.
crash.
Yeah. So since then, he's now had to step up and try to manage the club. And I don't know if maybe the relegation, the surprise relegation, made it too hard for them. But just on a positive, if you look at teams like Ipswich and even Sunderland, they were in League One recently, and they've been able to find a way to balance everything and come back. The difference is if you go into the league and you assume you're the best team, so you should win it and come back to the championship. That's where most teams struggle. But if you're willing to adapt and realize that like it's the financial models and how much you're spending and these things are affecting the club in itself, if you're able to reset and get that part of the club right, it's too big a club to stay in League One for a long time. Like, it shouldn't be too long before they get back to the Premier League if they're able to do things right.
Okay. Well, let's see what happens to Leicester in the next couple of games. Let's get back to the PL, the top flight league. The English Premier League. As we speak, Bournemouth are taking on Sunderland. 99 minutes played, so they are doing the added time. It looks like this game will end 1-0. Just quick thoughts. We were watching a game on in the office. I found the game very boring. After the first goal from Sunderland, Bournemouth created lots of chances, but failed to bury them. Then later they had to equalize. They've not been too convincing, and it's very shocking because for a side I thought had their eyes set on clinching one of the places in Europe. I think the Conference League is way more closer to them. To put up this performance against Sunderland is very disturbing.
Well, with games like this being a mid-table game, Sunderland starting the game in 12th and then Bournemouth starting the game in 8th, these games tend to be quite scrappy. They tend to be quite cagey and quite unpredictable. At the beginning of the game, earlier on, Sunderland were able to get a goal, but then in the middle of the second half, Bournemouth were able to pick them back. But then watching the game, as you said, it was. It's been an uninspired performance from both teams. Just pedestrian passing. The ball has actually spent more time in the air than on the ground, which it's not really. I don't want to say it's not Premier League quality, but then this is not the best advert for the Premier League. But then for Bournemouth, I think at this point in the season, with about 10 or 11 games to go, they can still put themselves in a good position.
They can still qualify
for Europe.
Yeah, because the point now, I'm looking at the table, if they end today's game with a draw, they have 39 points. If they are looking to take that spot for European Conference League next season, it means that they would have to finish somewhere around 7th.
Okay.
I believe. Depending on how far the English teams will go.
Yeah.
In the 3 European competitions, so the Champions League, the Europa League, and then the Conference League.
Yeah.
Then, it means that slot can be activated, and Bournemouth can pick that 7th slot. So they are not too far away from getting into Europe next season.
Yes. And out of those last 10 games, if they can get themselves at least 5 wins and then maybe a 2 or 3 draws, I think they would put themselves in a proper position. But then looking at Sunderland were also in a similar position in the first half of the season.
There was a drop.
Yes. But then it was expected. A team coming from the Championship, coming in at a point in time, they were as high as 3rd. But now they are 12th. I think for now, especially for their first season back, it's more than acceptable. It's excellent.
It's pretty calm. If you're part of the top hierarchy, you look at that performance and say you're excited.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
definitely.
Okay. Yeah, just brief thoughts on Sunderland. Kwabena says if he's part of the top hierarchy, he would be okay with the way Sunderland have performed so far. Are you on the same?
Oh yes. I'm on the same wavelength. After multiple years out in the Championship, they even slipped down to League One.
That's about what, 13 years?
Yeah, it's been a while. So if it's your
2017,
that's
so,
on 13, 14 years.
So no, 2017.
17.
That's
9 years.
Yes, 9 years.
Okay.
Almost 10 years.
Okay.
So if you've been out for that long, you've slipped beyond the Championship to League One, and you made your way all the way back. You sold one of your best players just before the Premier League started, or just after you clinched your Premier League qualification in Joe Bellingham to Borussia Dortmund, and you invest, and the players that you brought in have looked good so far. Brian Brobries, the Mayenders, they are not
Noah Sadiki.
They are not players that you bring in and look, they are stealing the headlines or grabbing the headlines with their performances, but they've been steady and they've been good, and it has reflected in their performance so far in the season. Right now they rank 11th. It's a steady return, and for me I think it's okay. Yes, they had a brilliant start to the season, but Water always finds its level. They were never going to sustain that level of production. Not with this group of players.
So you mean they peaked at the wrong time, or maybe?
No, it was needed. I think it was needed because what that did was
so
that
they were able to gather more points.
Yeah, it got them to gather more points, and it eased the pressure on the guys to perform, where they got the chance to be a bit more comfortable, to be a bit more expressive, and not be overly conservative, and be more or less easily beatable. Like because they don't want to risk it. It invites a ton of pressure on them, and then you start seeing them not getting the results. The fans start raising or increasing the tension in the stadium, outside the stadium. Then the top hierarchy starts to panic. Then they are looking at replacing the coach. He also brings in his style, and everything starts going in a downward spiral. Then the next thing you know, they are battling to survive. So that very good start, excellent start that they had, that had them ranked 4th at some point in the league standings. I think it really, really helped them. And now,
and that was the record it set. I think it said that it was the highest a team from the Championship.
Directly.
Could occupy in the PL.
So at that point in time, what that means is that yes, you've been able to gather enough points to guarantee your safety in the Premier League, and that is all that Sunderland needed. Anything else, that's a bonus. And it was going to be a stretch to be able to go to the Conference League or the Europa League. It was always going to be a stretch.
Okay.
But now that it's super clear that they aren't. Yes, 10 games to go, they can go on a run. But realistically, I don't see that happening. But at the end of the day, the main objective has been achieved, which is to stay in the Premier League beyond our first year of return. Then beyond the season, then we can look at something
build on
else.
that performance.
Yes, but for now, I think they'll be more than happy with what they've done.
Because I'm looking at the results. Kwachi, I'll come to you next. They had a goalless draw against City. I'm looking at some of the big results they had, whether it's a win or a draw. So a goalless draw against City. They beat Newcastle by 1-0. They played out a 1-0 draw with Liverpool. They beat Bournemouth 3-2. They held Arsenal to a 2-0 draw. They beat Chelsea by 2-1. Which one again? Yeah, these are some of the results that actually propelled them to be where they are on the league standings. Kwache?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they've had good performances, and I think most of those performances came at home.
Yeah.
Initially, I think it was on.
So I think the Chelsea win was at Stamford Bridge. That was like one of the biggest for them. The Arsenal draw was at their home, Stadium of Light. The City draw was also at their home, Stadium of Light. Stadium of Light. Kwache?
Yeah, so I mean, even though they've had some good results away, they managed to pick a few on the road. But like y'all said, like this is a team that, beyond their wildest expectations, what they wanted to was like secure Premier League football for another season. I think if you understand what Sunderland fans have been through over the last couple of years, I think you just having that solidity and being able to know that they can build from this next season is probably what they want. Because if they look at their recruitment that they did this summer and the impact that they had, if they were able to somehow repeat the trick next season with more money, with more stability in the Premier League, they can actually now start thinking that we can actually, maybe be challenging for Europe and make it more consistent. So, and the thing is, unfortunately, they've just, in the last round of games, they've just been a bit poor, in the Premier League especially. So since their win over Burnley, they've had 3 consecutive defeats. And it's not necessarily surprising, because losing to Liverpool and Arsenal, but I think the Fulham one was probably a game that they wish they could have, got something out of the game. To stop that run of games and end up with at least a point today against a good Bournemouth side, who have also themselves, they started really well this season, then they fluctuated a bit. It looked like they were heading towards relegation, but now they are back in the top half. I think that's also a sign of how tight the middle of the table is. I think the top 4, top 5, maybe I can include maybe Brentford and Liverpool in there. I think they've separated themselves a bit. But when you look at the rest of the teams, it looks like losing 3 games away from being in the relegation battle. If they can win 3, 4, 5 games, they can be challenging for Europe, and that's it's one of the least motivated places to be in the table. Does that make sense? Like when you are directly at the top of the table, when you're in the European sport, you have this, you know what you're fighting for. Does that make sense? But if you're in mid-table, it's almost like this could be a good season, and it depends on how ambitious you are. But if you also look at some of the teams that are underperforming, like if you look at the way Liverpool underperformed, how United did earlier in the season, but down they are back, it means it's given other teams like Brentford and Sunderland the chance to move into the top half. Like rather than it being I didn't even mention Spurs. Sorry, Spurs should also forgot entirely about them. But Spurs are also supposed to be one of those teams that should be challenging for the top 6 spots. But the fact that they are not at that level has meant that other teams have been able to step up. And initially, it looked like Sunderland were taking advantage of that. But at the end of the day, like we said, it's a really good season for them, especially if you compare with, because Leeds have been good as well, but they still find themselves struggling for relegation, and Burnley haven't been able to replicate the form that made them that helped promote them. And the irony is both of them were the champions of the championship. They both came up with 100 points. Burnley and Leeds, but Sunderland were the ones who came out through the playoff, the lottery system, as they say. But they have been able to be more be more consistent in the Premier League. So I think it's just it's just been a good season for them. And even though it might peter out a bit, I think they can just be proud of what they've done and start looking towards next season.
Okay. So that's the word on Sunderland. The Black Cats drawing 1-0 with Bournemouth at the Vitality Stadium. So the update is that points gained from losing positions in the Premier League this season. Sunderland are second, so 16 points. Aston Villa first with 19 points. Bournemouth are third with 15 points. And then Brighton and Hove Albion, they took 14, and the United are fifth with 12. So from losing positions, these are the teams in there for you. Let's turn our attention to the 3 p.m. batch of matches coming up in the English Premier League, and then I'll run you through all the results from the other major league centers as well. But Como are beating Lecce by 2-1, not too surprising. And Cesc Fabregas doing big things with Como this season. I think they would compete in the Conference League next season if they continue to to play like this to the end of the season?
I mean, hopefully they can go win the Coppa
because
Italia.
Lecce, they are going to relegation. So,
Yeah, I mean, as if they can keep it up. I think
I
because
think
traditionally
they can.
Italy have had very competitive, how do you call it, league. Because I think the quality of the teams at the top is actually quite similar.
Yeah.
It's only Fiorentina that have been very shocking this season.
Mm.
Yeah, but I mean, Como have done really well under Fabregas, but I don't know if they can go all the way this season.
Okay. We'll talk about the Italian Serie A proper. Let me just run you through the starting 11 for Burnley Brentford. Starting off with the home team in Burnley, 3-4-2-1 formation. Dubravka as the goalkeeper, back three of Rural, Esteve, and then Humphreys. They've got a midfield four of Lawrence, James Ward-Prowse, Mejbri, Hannibal, and then Lucas Pires in there. Anthony Brun Larsen, and then Fleming leading the attack for Bournemouth, who are taking on Brentford, and the Tefmore. Fleming scored for Burnley last weekend against Chelsea, so hopefully he'll be hoping that he can score another for Burnley. For Brentford, it's a 4-2-3-1 formation, and they've got Valdimarsen in post, a back four of Coyote, Aja, Van de Beek, and then Henry as the back four. Jensen and Yarmolenko as a midfield two. Kevin Schade, Damsgaard. There's Ouattara also starting for Brentford, and then Thiago Eagle leading the attack for Brentford. The other matches for Liverpool, who are taking on West Ham at Anfield. Let me get you the starting 11 for that game as well. Then we'll begin to talk about those games that will be kicking off at 3 p.m. Liverpool line up in a 4-2-3-1 formation. Alisson Becker is the goalkeeper, back four of Milos Kerkez. There's Virgil van Dijk, Ibrahim Konate, and then Joe Gomez playing as a right back today. Alexis McAllister is in there with Ryan Gravenberch, and then Mohamed Salah, Dominic Szoboszlai operating as a 10 today. Cody Gakpo, and then Hugo Ekitike leading the attack for Liverpool. For West Ham United, it's a 4-3-2-1. Hermansen as the goalkeeper. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is playing as the right back. Mavropanos, partner Axel Disasi, top defender. And then there is why are you laughing? There is Malik Diop, the AFCON winner, starting for West Ham today as the left back. A midfield three of Fernandez, Thomas Susek, and then Magasa. They've got Somerville, Jared Bowen, and then Castellanos leading the attack for the Hammers. They're also looking to get some points off Liverpool today. The final game at 3 p.m. is Newcastle taking on Everton. Newcastle United taking on Everton. The starting 11 for Newcastle: 4-3-3. Nick Pope, Kieran Trippier, Malik Thiaw, Dan Bain, and Louise Hall. There is Ramsey, Sandro Tonali, Joelinton as a midfield three, Anthony Langa, Nick Voltimada, and then Anthony Gordon as part of the three attackers for Newcastle United. Everton line up in a 4-2-3-1. Pickford is starting. There's Mikolenko, Braithwaite, Tarkowski, O'Brien, Idrissa Gana Gay, James Garner, Dwight McNeil, Drisby Hall, Iliman Ndiaye, and then Beto, y'all's favorite striker, leading the attack for Jet Office. Yeah, why are you laughing? Come on, let me start off with you. I don't know which are the games you want to talk about. 3 games kicking off at 3 p.m. Which one is your pick for today?
For today, I think the most interesting game would be Newcastle United versus Everton.
Everton, right?
Yes, because these are teams that can be very physical, but then on their day they can be also quite technical. They can pass the ball around, they can keep it moving, they can play some good stuff. I'm very interested to see how the midfield battle pans out, because some of the names I'm hearing: Joe Linton, Sandro Tonali, Jacob Ramsey, and that's on the Newcastle side. Then for Everton, Idrissa Gueye, James Garner. interested to see how that works out, because these are very physical midfields. We have people like Joe Linton, who's more or less a thug in the middle of the park, who has some good technical ability. Idrissa Gueye, even in his advanced years, I think he's about 35 or 36 at this point, but he still has a very strong engine, and he still shows his
plays like he's 22 years old.
Exactly. He still shows his technical skill wherever he is, on his own half, in the opposing half, he has a good shot on him. I think it will be a very good battle. Front to back, all the way. And I don't think there'll be much tactical prowess shown by the coaches. I think they'll just allow the teams to go onto the pitch and play. And I particularly hope that Nick Voltemade performs well against Everton today, because there's been some controversy around
already
him.
tagging him as the wet signing.
Exactly.
Why? But why?
Which shocks me, because when he stepped onto the Premier League stage for the first time, he started out, he was very consistent, he was scoring goals just about every game. I think it's natural that at a certain point in time, a striker will drop off. There are some strikers who, from the beginning of the season, like Victor Gyökeres, from the beginning of the season, they were missing. And it's only now that they've recently picked up form.
Even Liam Delap is there.
Exactly. So people drop off, people pick up form. Nick Voltemade is going through a bit of a dry spell. I think the Newcastle fans should be patient with him, because he's...
Do you think they are weighing him up, his performance, because of what they saw with Isak?
With Isak. But how long did it take for Isak to pick up?
Well, your fans can be fickle.
To be fair, I think the main problem with Voltemade is the rivalry. I don't know how the extent of it, but the rivalry between Newcastle and Sunderland is quite large, and he will always be that guy who scored the own goal. Who scored the own goal? And I don't know, since that time, his confidence has been drained. And it looks like, I don't know. Because if he moves out, the only way he can ever forget about it is if he's not there. Other than that, he's always the guy who scored the own goal for Sunderland on his debut in the derby.
Tuned up,
These things sometimes can affect players.
But I think these things happen. Voltemade will pick himself up, especially this being a World Cup year, and him, being the most prospective striker for Germany.
In terms of Fulkrug, to be honest.
Exactly. It's him.
I think his spot is guaranteed.
But the thing is that he needs to start scoring, because especially going into these last few months before the World Cup starts, before the end of the season, he needs to pick up genuine form. Even if he's going to start, whether or not he's playing well, he needs to start picking up form for himself and for the national team, because this is a Germany team that needs to redeem itself, having been grouped in the last two World Cups, 2018, 2022, going out in the group stage. So they are going to be expecting something like a quarter-final or a semi-final run in North America this year, and he's going to be pivotal to that. So he needs to start picking up form at club level right now. He has the quality, he has the technical ability for a man of his height, being able to carry the ball, being able to dribble over long distances, link up play deep in either in his own half or in the middle third. So he's a very good striker. He's a young man. The Newcastle fans should give him time, and he needs to work on his mental. Whatever happened with the own goal, there's a way around it. There's a way to, and he needs to start scoring goals. That is what will endear him to the fans again.
Well, so Newcastle United making 6 changes to that lineup against Everton, and then Everton making 4 changes to that lineup against Newcastle United. Which of the games do you want to talk about? A 3 p.m. batch of matches?
Oh wow! Yes, inevitably
Liverpool West Ham.
Inevitably Liverpool West Ham. Particularly looking at the question that you asked, whether they can make it to the Champions League. So I'll be looking out for that. Have a major interest in that. But I think to answer your question, they can make it. I do see them making it. It's Aston Villa that I'm worried about. Because at this point, I don't see the top 2 falling out of the spots that they occupy now. Arsenal, Man City, and then looking at the momentum that Man United have picked up, and the way Aston Villa is wobbly, I wouldn't be surprised if Man United end the season in 3rd place, then with Liverpool coming in 4th place. and Chelsea in 5th place, so 5, and that's pretty much it. Well, it will depend on how far the
English teams can go.
Yeah, so maybe you can possibly get 6.
Yeah.
So that's where there's a bit of a toss-up between. There will be a bit of a toss-up between Aston Villa and potentially Chelsea and Liverpool. Yeah, those three will be battling for those 2 positions that will be left open.
Okay.
And so for Liverpool, I definitely, I think I'm heavily inclined to believe that they'll make it to the Champions League. And out of all the contenders, it's Aston Villa that I am worried about, because per the way they are playing and with all the injury issues, I think it might be too much for them. While they're also competing in the Conference League, I think it might be a bit too much for them, and they might just end up slipping.
Okay. Kwache, your final, your take on the 3 p.m. batch of matches. Which one are you picking?
Yeah, I mean, same thing. Just to see if Liverpool can actually start picking up some consistency and see how they'll end their season.
Okay.
Because everything has been laid out for them in terms of what they need to do to make the season not as disastrous as it seemed like it was going to be at the start of the season. It's a shame that Vert is injured and he won't be able to take on this game. It looked like he was picking up on some really good form, and that was being helpful for Liverpool. But if I look at the team now, I think this is probably his best balanced team. I think when Vert's played, he has to somehow get between playing as a winger / a midfielder sometimes. But I think having Soboslai, Gravenberg, and McAllister, along with Gakpo and Salah and Ekitike. And that has also be another I say silver lining, because if you look at Ekitike's form, I think he'd have also struggled if he still had to be doing this play 60 minutes, then Isak comes on, then Isak starts the next game, then you come on at 70. I think that would have also affected him. So him having a run of games in the team has actually been very, very beneficial for him. Hopefully, again, the problems will come when they happen. Once Vert and everyone is fit, and as he now starts, I think that's what started the dilemma of whether to drop Salah or not. How to get Vert into the team and play him in a position where he doesn't necessarily have all the responsibilities of being in the midfield and having to constantly maintain his position, but at the same time too he can drift wide and influence the game. So looking at this team now, if he's able to get a result against I don't want to say a resurgent West Ham team, but at least they've at least have not accepted with their feet yet. That's the best way I can describe it. Every once in a while they put up a performance that makes it seem like we are actually determined not to get relegated. But the problem is they're running out of games.
Okay.
And if they need to start winning to get themselves out of the relegation zone, this is probably a game that they'll look at. Obviously it's Liverpool, but then if you look at the Liverpool team that has been around this season, you probably look at the game and say, we probably fancy ourselves, if we play really well, we can probably get a result from this game. But for Liverpool, what they need to do is in front of them. So let's see.
All right. Kickoff is in the next 7 minutes. It's Liverpool taking on West Ham United. Then Burnley will take on Brentford. And the final game for the 3 p.m. batch of matches is at the St. James's Park, Newcastle United up against Everton. Also in the Italian Serie A, it's Como 3, Lecce 1. And then for the Spanish La Liga, Athletic Club are taking on Rayo Vallecano 1-0 in that game. Let me take some comments on YouTube. You can also send your thoughts to the WhatsApp line 0539986996, 0539986996. Let's hear from you what you think about today's games. Let me start off from YouTube. Collins ADG says Leeds United should do me a favor today. Okay. Patrick 1244 G7N says City 4. Leeds United 1. Okay, Colin says Leeds to City 1. So there's they are having their own banter on YouTube. Says, are you dreaming? City 4, Leeds 1. Yeah, that's what the people can do on YouTube. They're just having their own banter there. Ibrahim Smile 107 says, yeah, City is winning the league. Okay, instead of Bayinda being sold, it should have been Onana. He doesn't have the height for goalkeeping, and there's nothing to fight for United. Okay. Sweet Kwame says Wolves are not the worst EPL team. Okay. Come on, City.
I think that's worth a mention. Like, Wolves have put out some very surprising results. Beating Aston Villa by 2-0. I don't think I saw that coming at all.
Exactly.
At all. And at first I thought they might get relegated with the worst points total in the Premier League. There was a point where it looked like that, but they've been able to get themselves back up. I think it's far too late though.
Yeah, still getting relegated, but
I mean, unless they can pull I think Sunderland won 7 out of their last 8 games when they were under Sam Allardyce.
Yeah,
something crazy like
15,
that.
16.
Yeah, so if a run like that, who knows? But other than that, they look like it's just a bit too late for them.
Okay. Let me get back to the comment. Says, do you think Como would be good next season after playing in Europe? Sweet Kwame 357 is asking us a question. Okay. He says, Shining Brother 3 needs to be on Panorama. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Sweet Kwame, you don't worry. It says, Martin Donu Kwabla says, City, let's finish the job first half. Okay. Sweet Kwame 357 says, and Shiny Family Edition, Saturdays for the Shining Brothers. Okay. He says, Wolves are ruining everybody's season. That's really true. That's really true. I mean, the last few match weeks, they look way more different than when the season started.
I think
it feels like all of a sudden they are very difficult to play against.
Amorim's last result, that wasn't a Wolves game.
Which
I know
one?
the Wolves, when Amorim was about
United
to get sacked.
I
know they drew a game before he got sacked, but I know the Wolves result was part of it. So they put out some really.
He beat Wolves though.
No, they drew. They beat Wolves 4-1 in the first leg, and the second one they drew 1-1 with Wolves.
Okay.
I don't remember if it was that or the Leeds game that got him. That made him lose his job. But they struggled against Wolves. Arsenal themselves have struggled against Wolves twice this season. They needed a late goal the first time, and the second time they were unable to take all 3 points. So
and that's the thing about teams that are more or less condemned to relegation.
Yeah,
they tend to
all of a sudden they become very difficult to play against
because now they are playing for pride because they realize that their fate has been sealed.
Yeah,
so they try and take some of the shame out of it by putting up some gallant performances.
Yeah. Yes. And how frustrating can it be that when you actually need to play well, you can't. But then when you decide not to actually put in any effort or just take it as it comes, that's when you're actually able to surprise teams. I think that's a slightly wrong way around.
Yeah, but it's really out of their control. I don't know. They tend to overthink it at the earlier portion of the season. Try and be too elaborate with their tactics and with their play, but once you realize that it hasn't worked, let's just go down to brass tacks. We play the game the way we know best, and once the teams play well in their minds, it reflects on the pitch. So now that Wolves have that freedom from a relegation battle because they know that it's okay, next season we are playing in the championship, now we have to start performing, we can play our way. So the coach will more or less take the reins off, take off the training wheels and say, boys, just go play, have fun, give the fans something to cheer about. Yeah. And then next season we'll build again and see if we can get back into the Prem.
Okay. So that's the word on Wolves United. I said Wolves United. Wolverhampton Wanderers, no Wolves United, right? So the 3 p.m. matches. I'm kicking off pretty soon. We'll go for our very first break. When we come back, then we'll begin to give you the watch along session. Keeping tabs on Liverpool, West Ham, Newcastle United, Everton. It should be some good games. Then Burnley, Brentford. Later at 5:30, there's Leeds United taking on Manchester City. For the championship, Norwich have beaten Leicester City by 2-0. And for the Italian Serie A, Como do have the lead against Lecce 3-1. In Germany, Werder Bremen have scored against Heidenheim, but that goal is under a VAR check. Bayern Leverkusen are taking on Mainz. It's goalless in the 30 minutes played. Mönchengladbach up against Union Berlin. Also 30 minutes played in Germany. For the Spanish La Liga, Barcelona will take on Villarreal at 3:15 p.m. Barca's home, so Barca will be hoping to win that game and also get some points in addition to what they have already. Yeah, you can also leave your thoughts 053996 996 053996 996. The guys are misbehaving on YouTube. Yeah, you should be listening to the show, not paying attention to other matters.
Someone says you're wearing a Haas jersey.
I'm not wearing a Haas jersey, I beg. It's not Haas jersey. That is Ho United.
It's not Haas jersey.
But how is this looking Haas?
I mean, maybe because of the red.
Well, Charlie, the boys on YouTube, man.
They are having their own show.
Since it's coming, he's telling me that I'm not reading his comments. Watch that. Since coming, why should I read the comments?
We don't want to read your
what
comments.
you are saying is not part of the show. Oh boy, Charlie, boys, well, yeah. So that's the word on the PL. The games have kicked off though. That I don't know why I have a feeling like West Ham will cause an upset against Liverpool today.
It's a bad feeling.
It's a bad feeling. It's a bad feeling for you.
No. After seeing Liverpool do what they did to Nottingham Forest,
okay.
You know that last second winner from Alexis McAllister.
Yeah,
I don't see West Ham posing any threat.
Yeah, it's very possible. Looking at this,
I mean, it's football. It's possible.
It can happen, though.
but it's very possible with this West Ham team and the way this Liverpool team have been up and down. They can't really sort themselves out in the right back position, rotating Joe Gomez, Dominic Szoboszlai. Now we see Szoboszlai.
So why is it that Arne Slot doesn't like using a right back to play that? Okay.
I mean, because
so
of
Jerry
injuries. Because of injuries. And Conor Bradley.
He should stop using Dominic Szoboszlai as a
but
right back.
today he's not using him because Joe Gomez has returned. Yeah. So Joe Gomez is the one playing on the right side.
But then
then there's Konate, then there's Van Dijk, and then there's Keke. So your regular back four sorted out. And because Joe Gomez has returned, so today Szoboszlai is not playing in the right full back position.
Yeah.
He's playing as a 10, directly behind the lead striker Ekitike. And so it also helps that Florian Wirtz is not in the picture because of the exorbitant amounts of money they bought him with. Even though sometimes you can clearly tell that Arne Slot isn't too comfortable with starting games, he has to start him.
Yeah,
he has to start him because of
the price tag
that come with it. Yeah, and that's how come he looked a bit comfortable, and Slot looked a bit comfortable when the whole Salah fallout came. Because what that meant was that he could play all his midfielders in the starting unit without having to worry about having to manage the egos of players who will be disappointed or who will be a bit displeased with their number of minutes. In that sense, with Salah out of the picture, he could play all five midfielders with two.
And Jones in there.
Yes, he could play as many as 5 midfielders. And so now that Florian Wirtz is not around and Joe Gomez has returned, it makes life easy for Arne Slot from a defensive standpoint.
Yeah.
And then from an offensive standpoint, it's also a little bit easier because in that sense, it means you don't have to drop either McAllister or Florian Wirtz. Knowing very well that McAllister is the best guy to complement Ryan Gravenberch. And in that sense, it also means that you don't have to force Szoboszlai to play as a right full back. Because in order to accommodate Florian Wirtz. So I think this is their best squad.
Okay.
And players have been playing in their regular natural positions.
And that makes you confident.
And so for me, I think looking at all that, plus last week they being able to dig themselves out of that hole they were in and beat Nottingham Forest away from home.
Yeah.
Last minute winner. Yeah, I definitely see them beating West Ham.
Okay.
I think the last minute winner is quite important too, because at the start of the season, remember, they were winning very marginally. Those last minute winners.
Yeah, I think
they had
they did that consistently in 6 games or so.
And then they had that long spell where it seemed like they were constantly losing by other last minute goals or equalizers. So I think just mentally to flip everything around for them, I think it's a positive that they were able to win last weekend. And
Well, speaking of that, Liverpool have taken a lead against West Ham United. Is that Hugo Torres Ekitike? Because is that how you guys call him? Hugo Torres Ekitike. When he went, went with the whole Torres hair look. Well, says Liverpool one.
Numbers and the movement.
It's too much of a stretch. Well, it's just one season though. So
I mean,
in terms of
Torres,
in terms of his
I think
movement,
he has that agility.
Yeah.
In terms of the Torres.
he moves like that. In fact, some of the goals he scored a lot this season gives me that Torres vibe.
Yeah, and he has a lot of clever finishes. Just instinctive. You can just tell.
But that was a very smart pass from.
It
was who?
Gravenberch.
Yeah, very, very, very good sense of awareness.
Yeah.
I thought he would smash it.
Yeah. Because
for a second, I thought he would
Ekitike
smash
was
it.
in acres of space. He was in a very good position to.
Yeah, to smash it, but he read the situation and he picked the right pass, and Ekitike, he delivered the finish. There was a little bit of a deflection though. That's what threw the goolkeeper off a little bit. But at the end of the day,
I think went to the players' legs as well.
Yeah,
we're about to ask if he's the signing of the season. I thought I told you about
sign of the season.
For Liverpool,
if they hadn't been for Liverpool's poor form, where they had a spell where it looked like, and I would also blame that on the fact that he was now competing with Isak, like I was saying. If he had a run of games throughout the season and he had been able to be fit and maybe have more of an impact in those games, I think you could easily argue that he's been one of the definitely Liverpool signing of the season, the one that's clearly worked the most and made sense. And it also now poses the question: did you really need to spend 150 million on Isak?
The answer is no.
Did you need to drag out that whole thing? Let him not train for a whole summer. It gets to the end of the season.
The whole
they
issue
needed to sign him.
Give some
They
competition.
needed to sign him.
For a player who was half fit.
No, it's not about competition, to create competition for Ekitike. It's about it was the best chance to have one of the world's best strikers at Liverpool, rather than lose him to a direct competitor in the European scene.
At the price that you had to pay for him, I'm not sure if
with the
was worth
salary,
the investment.
even with this injury woes.
Even Barcelona would have paid at least 80 or about 90 or 100 million.
So then let Barcelona spend that money, not Liverpool.
Oh, sorry, for Isak. Yeah.
For Isak. They would have still have to pay. And you know what we say about English tax.
Yeah.
Aside you buying English players, you are buying from an EPL team. It will definitely cost a little bit more. And at the end of the day, like I said, and like I've said so many times, it's all about the transition. Liverpool were looking at the future, and looked at what worked for them in the past, which was especially from an attacking standpoint, which was the Salah, Firmino, Mane trio. And if you look at these guys that they signed, they have it.
Okay.
They already have it. Though it's different variation in
let me ask you
already have it.
Let me ask you this quick question and we'll go for our first break. If Isak is fully fit, Ekitike is fully fit, who again is playing? Cody Gakpo.
Yes.
And then who again? Salah.
Maybe include for the fact that Vert's not playing in midfield.
Let's look beyond Salah.
Because he even at the end of the season, he might go, he might not go.
If you're honest, do you think you can have all these 3 players play?
Oh yeah, because they are fluid.
So who would be your focal?
Who would be the focal point? It would have to be Isak.
Isak. Then you put Ekitike on the
but
left.
Even I would even put Ekitike through the middle and Isak on the left side.
Okay.
Then you can play Gakpo on the right. So you can switch. It's very fluid. It's very fluid. And
because I think in terms of finish.
And the best thing to even notice that you can drop Cody Gakpo to the bench, knowing very well that
won't happen.
Knowing very well,
he loves
Slot is obsessed with.
Because if you drop Salah,
let's say he's building Netherlands
Salah
team
leaves
for them.
the scene. Let's say Salah leaves the scene, and you still have to deal with the whole Florian Wirtz situation. Between Cody Gakpo and Florian Wirtz, you would have to play Florian Wirtz. You would have to play Florian Wirtz. In that sense, yes, maybe he's committed to, or he's comfortable playing Cody Gakpo.
Okay.
But the powers that be will look at him and ask questions that why are you starting this guy ahead of our huge investment?
Yeah, that's why I think you do one of the things where you probably move Szoboszlai back to right back and then try and put Wirtz in the midfield or try a different combination.
But then Szoboszlai at the right back is a waste of his talent.
Exactly. And this off-season, it is clear that they will be heavily investing in the defensive line.
Yeah.
Because because at the end of the day, it's Van Dijk has also shown that he's slowing down.
Yeah.
So they have to start making preparations.
I think that whole back
for his
will need some reworking.
Yeah.
Yes, for his replacement.
Maybe
so,
Kekes instill some faith in him again next season.
Kekes will definitely stay. And you know that Leonio is coming back. But they will need to sign 2 more centre backs. They will need to sign 2 more centre backs.
Jacket should be in by the summer.
And they need to sort out that right back spot.
The guy who's
exactly. That's why I'm saying that even there's no way he will attempt to play Szoboszlai as a right full back unless there's another injury crisis.
Okay.
So in that sense, you are looking at Szoboszlai, McAllister, and Grafenberg in the middle because even Curtis Jones, I think he will leave.
Okay.
If I can make a quick point on that.
In that sense, why are you going to
play
play Florian Wirtz? You have to play him in that hole behind 2 strikers. That is Isak and Ekitike. Then Cody Gakpo can be your guy that comes off the bench consistently and can act as an emergency striker in case of an injury to either Ekitike or Isak.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if you City's example of Donnarumma and Trafford, there's clearly you see a world-class player on the market and you already have one acquired and you want to take the opportunity. With Liverpool, they look more orchestrated. I think that just surprises me. They both, as much as they can play in other parts of the field, they both look like they play their best football when they are, playing central. And they can drift out wide not necessarily that they've been placed out wide. So in terms of team structure, I still don't understand how the 2 of them were meant to cohesive, especially because both of them will want to be. As much as one of them can play out left, one of them would definitely want to be the main man and want to be known as the number 9.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
That's not something you can share.
I mean, once you acquire an Ekitike, there's no need to buy an Isak.
Okay.
I mean, for me, just a quick word before we go on the break. For me, the reason why I'm super confident in it working, this whole Ekitike, Isak playing together and it working is because they are agile, they are athletic, they are technically good, and technically sound, and they are intelligent.
And that gives you a lot of options.
And they are intelligent. That's the key thing. They can make it work.
They look like the same player.
They can make it work. You're doing something that's going on well. Why don't you double down on it?
Okay. Well, let's see what happens to the 2 players next season. Maybe Slot can pick Yao's thoughts on how the 2 players can coexist in his team and create some damage for Liverpool next season. You're still watching or listening to the Republic of Football on 97.3 live on TV, Channel 1 TV, and then on YouTube, City Sports Ghana, on X, City FM. When I come back, I'll get the result for the first poll we put out on YouTube. The question we asked was if City can keep the pressure on Arsenal in the title race. If you've not voted, please do so. And then we'll move on to our next. There's Liverpool in there to talk about, and Borussia Dortmund taking on Bayern Munich later today in the German League. I'm Gabi Affair, 97.3. We'll be back after this break. I'm Gabi of this is the Republic of Football on 97.3, also live on Channel 1 TV, live on YouTube, City Sports Ghana. Zero 53996 That's the WhatsApp line. That's where you can send in your thoughts. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can also leave your thoughts there. I'll be glad to read them out for you later. 4:30, would activate the phone lines, and then you can call us and share your thoughts with me as well. Well, as we speak, Liverpool do have the lead against West Ham United. It's Liverpool 1, West Ham 0. Hugo Ekitike scoring for Liverpool. Barcelona are taking on Villarreal at the Camp Nou. Is goalless in that game. I'm not too sure if Thomas Partey is playing. Nope, he's on the bench, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see if he can get some
sign Papa Gay. So
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Pap Gay has really upped
he's
his game.
stuck with those two for a minute.
Yeah, exactly. So I think his main competition for that defensive midfield position would be Pap Gay.
Yeah.
And Pap Gay is much younger, much more mobile. He's physically far more sound than Partey. So at this point in time, I think Partey will just have to get used to coming off the bench.
I mean, after what he said at the press conference too, there.
yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that they were able to, as in, I wonder what was said to him in the meetings, because when he was leaving Arsenal, although there was a, how do you call it, that's when it was the beginning of him having to face legal troubles. He still had a lot of interest, and I'm sure he could have got different clubs. So there must have been something that was said to him from either Marcelino or the ownership of the club.
I mean, Champions League. There was Champions League.
Remember, Villarreal played in the Champions League.
Yeah,
They played,
that was the first
group
goal.
stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, he wanted to. I mean, maybe he's. Think about it. Even the guy who says he's not ready to retire. So
No,
why would a guy like Thomas Partey,
no, yeah, I get him.
want to go play in, let's say, Saudi Arabia, where more or less, you are competing against inferior competition. So maybe I see it as it was a personal thing, not in a negative way, as in an ego thing, where he wanted to show that, I still can
have
compete.
a lot more to give.
Yeah, I still have a lot more to show and a lot more to give. So why would I want to use that time to go to, let's say, Saudi Arabia?
Yeah.
I can still play in an European top 5 league and a club that's competing in the Champions League and still, play out the remainder of my top years. Then maybe after that, then I can go to Saudi and go go get a bag, like a bag full of cash. But unfortunately, it hasn't worked out. It just hasn't worked out. So maybe at the end of this season, they could,
Let him go.
terminate the contract, because I understand it was a 2-year deal.
Yeah.
So they could negotiate and just annul the contract after the season. Then he can go and get to play in Saudi Arabia or maybe the Gulf or China, get a lot of money without necessarily having to task or put too much ask on his body. Yeah. Especially when it's very likely he will play in the World Cup. So if you're Partey, you played at 2 World Cups, you won the Europa League with Atletico Madrid. You won a couple of titles, Super Cup, Copa España, Super Copa España, a couple of titles here and there. And he was also credited with the Atletico Madrid La Liga win. Yeah, because he played a number of games that fits the requirement. Or that met the requirement.
There for Super Cup too.
That's what the Super Copa España.
So I think a European Super Cup.
The UEFA Super Cup. So if you won all these titles and you made some solid money, and you played in all these big teams in Europe, I mean, that's a brilliant career. And you played at the World Cup twice. You played at the AFCON on a couple of occasions. Just go get that retirement money. So
okay.
I know that. That's what I'm saying. So I just feel that there must have been some assurances from Marcelino himself that he would have had game time for him to have chosen to come to Villarreal when he had different options. So Yeah, like I said, maybe in the summer
I mean,
they both assess
coming
their
into this
position.
season, after he signed to join Villarreal, did anyone see Pape Gay starting ahead of Partey?
No.
I mean, the closest thing was to start Partey with Pape Gay.
Yeah.
Two
you
for
get it.
Liverpool.
Yeah, 2 for Van Dijk.
So Liverpool have doubled their lead. Virgil van Dijk scoring for the Reds. It's Liverpool 2, West Ham United 0. I'm sure he came from a corner.
Yeah.
Header,
Okay.
yeah, corner.
I think
We should please Arne Slot because he was talking about how other teams always score from set pieces and
Yeah.
Liverpool never score. So
Yeah,
I think
so
they must have
Liverpool
heard
2,
me.
West Ham United
You must have
0.
heard me when I was saying that it was very possible for West Ham to win. So they've made up their minds that they'll just put that to bed early.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
mean,
think
there
you'd
was
have
no
caught
way.
it.
It's football. A lot of strange things can
Yeah.
happen, but realistically, it wasn't.
Worry they
happening.
might overturn this because of Gomez.
What did he?
I mean, he's blocking the goalpost line of sight. I don't think he'd have saved it anyway. but-
No, he's not
No,
blocking
he's
the
not.
goal.
He's
No,
not.
no, no.
He's
Because
not.
the
The
goal
goal
went in
stance.
the opposite direction,
Yeah.
so he's not blocking the goal.
The goal stance. It's a legit goal. Liverpool 2, West Ham 0. Elsewhere at the Turf Moor, Brentford are beating Burnley. And then at the St. James's Park, it's Everton 1, Newcastle United 0. Kwachi, you mentioned that would be a goal. I said it would end in a goalless draw, but Everton do have different ideas. Let me check out who scored for Everton. And then, well, that's Braithwaite with the goal for the Toffees at the St. James's Park.
Yeah,
Definitely a set piece. If the centre back is.
he was.
Brentford too. It looks like my tab is blinking here. It looks like Brentford have added a
Brentwood,
second
it's
goal.
good for Brentwood because he looked like an almost certainty to be in the England national team for
Yeah.
the World Cup because he had a brilliant campaign last season.
Yeah,
Then this season comes along and injuries just messed him up. And so, if Harry Maguire is even pushing to be in the England national team,
You think
will be
for
there.
the-
Brentford should look at what.
surely be there.
yeah,
Okay.
if he can have a strong closeout
To this
into
season.
the season, yeah, he could be a possibility. And on top of that, I don't know. I'm not too comfortable with Ezri Konsa.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm not too comfortable with Ezri Konsa because he looks too hesitant for me every time he plays. And you know, John Stones is always hurt. If I'm Thomas Tuchel, I'm not taking him.
Okay.
So there's a chance. There's a chance. And Jarrell Kwanzaa hasn't necessarily
Lift the world up.
taking the chance to come in as a more or less a replacement and give Thomas Tuchel major headache. So it's very likely it's going to be Maguire
Yeah.
and potentially Dan Ben and yeah, those guys. But yeah, Harry Maguire. No, I'm not too comfortable. with
Really?
Maguire.
I think Maguire for England is
After
a
all
different
he done for
animal.
United.
Generally, the thing is that even when he was in the worst of form at United, his England performances were solid.
Mm.
He
So
hasn't played for England for a while.
exactly. But then just looking at him, looking at the track record, and looking at how he's been able to pull himself out of the doldrums to now being a consistent performer for United in defense, I don't see why he would not make the squad at all. Especially in this era of expanded 26-man, possibly 30-man squads for the World Cup. I don't see why he wouldn't make it.
Well,
I
it's
don't-
Brentford 2. Hold on for me. Brentford 2, Burnley 0. Guess who scored for Brentford? The second goal.
Yeah, so Igor Thiago.
Igor
He's-
Thiago.
he's
Is it a
back.
penalty?
No, this was
No, it's not a
Let's
This is a
just
well-worked
finish.
goal.
Yeah,
Assist from
Alpha.
Damsgaard.
Our golden boot candidate.
Yeah,
I mean,
Damsgaard scoring
Damsgaard is
and
very,
assisting.
very underrated.
Yeah. Plays for Denmark.
Last
right?
season,
Yes, he does.
last season was among the top 3 in terms of assists
Yeah, for Brentford.
for Brentford
Yeah.
in the league. Yeah, and this season he's also in there, and he's
I'm not
quite
surprised if
he's a
he
solid
But
player.
he's been good from way back. If you remember,
Yeah,
all the way the
for-
2018 World Cup, I remember
good.
he
Yeah,
was
yeah.
Euro
yeah,
2020.
Euro
Yeah.
2020 when Golovin was doing really well for Russia in that tournament. They
been
had
good,
a
but you never hear his name, you know, as
Being
one of the
mentioned
top
for big transfers
top,
or anything
top
of the
players
sort.
in the league. But in terms of production,
Okay.
he's right there. You were saying?
Okay, Kwachi, you wanted to say something? Then I'll bring the result for the first poll we have.
no, I was just pointing out how do you call it? You were making a point about earlier.
The England centre back.
Yeah, well, the England
Oh,
centre back
okay.
options. I was just thinking that you must I'm not trying to be critical of Harry Maguire, but you should be
But
able to
you are
find
trying to
5
be
better
critical.
defenders than Harry Maguire to take the
Oh,
World
they are. But the
At this
thing is,
stage.
it's the availability. Because if John Stones is available or had been available for Man City consistently, and Brantwaite had been available consistently for Man City, all things being equal.
Hey, Bossa in high line. Hey,
As if
it's
Flick
quite a
will
pass.
use this highlight
What
to
are you
kill
doing?
this highlight to
So
kill
he
them.
wants to cut in onto
Yes,
his left foot.
If you just shoot.
Oh, they missed it.
Perez
I
should
think he
have
should have
struck
scored
the
a
ball.
pass. No, still whether left foot or right foot, he should have.
Ah,
Bossa in high line.
that's perfect.
Yeah.
Pepe should have taken.
Look, so right from here, as soon as the player makes the run, because the player was way more ahead than that's just Kundi, right?
Yeah.
Looking
I
like
mean,
Ronaldinho.
yeah, if your high line is like in front of your halfway line, you're always in trouble. Because someone can just stand on the halfway line and always get through ball through. So
Yeah.
maybe it's how high they were attacking in that sequence.
Yeah,
But
I mean, like I was saying, if all things being equal, if those guys are available, Maguire wouldn't even be in the conversation. So yeah, that's why there's the availability issue. Brantwaite hasn't been available that much. John Stones hasn't been available that much. So yeah, Maguire has a shot. Though even he hasn't been available that much.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't see Thomas Tuchel taking him.
I
honestly
mean,
don't see
until Michael Carrick came, I don't think it would have even been considered an option. So I'm just trying to point out
Well,
that
that's true.
are we not looking at it a little short term? If that makes sense. Like maybe if he can continue up to the end of the season, that's a
Yes,
valid argument.
definitely.
But
Okay.
I mean,
Guys, for the polls, the first one we had on YouTube, the question was, can City keep the pressure on Arsenal in the title race? 83% say yes. 17% say nope. City cannot. Yeah, so we had 65 votes. That's the EC declaring the result. 65.
It's finished.
65 votes. Guys, so I think we all agree. Kobna, you agree with that? 83 saying that City can keep up the pressure on
Oh
Arsenal.
yeah, they will definitely keep up the pressure.
They can.
They can, right?
They definitely can. And
And you even usurp them.
they
To
really
the
can.
title.
Yeah,
Yes,
Again
yes.
in this season.
Yes.
Hey.
The thing is that Arsenal players, I don't know. You know, Thierry Henry made a point a month or two ago. He said sometimes the fear of winning is greater than the fear of losing. And I think that has been Arsenal's problem for the past few seasons. They've gone from comfortable positions with large point gaps to just constantly dropping points at crucial games in the final few games of the season.
Yeah.
Dropping
The last
points,
12 games, yeah. The last
losing.
12 games, the last 12 games of the last 5 seasons they played, they've dropped. I think the only season they picked maximum points was in 2022-2023 season.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And still,
I think they did 10 out of 12 wins.
yes. So sometimes winning, it has to do with a certain level of experience. So you don't necessarily need players who have won leagues before,
Okay.
but you need a manager who can instill the mentality of winning into you, even though you might not have won a trophy yet. For someone like Guardiola, he's very good at working on the psychology of his players, getting them to understand that from now on, every game is a final. So just focus on the game fully.
Yeah.
Be completely committed. Don't think too far ahead into the season. Just take it one game at a time. Arteta, at a point in time, his boys get jittery, and he also seems to get jittery with them. He doesn't know how to calm the ship. He doesn't know how to take charge and tell them, look, take it one game at a time. There are 10 games left. If we win each and every one, the trophy is ours.
Okay.
These are games that if we had played, if they were the first 10 games of the season, Arsenal would have won them. But somehow, just because they are the last 10, yes, there's the added pressure of winning the league. And unfortunately, the trauma of having lost the league for the past 3 seasons. But he just needs them to focus. Unfortunately, that has not been their forte.
Yeah.
But looking at City, apart from the game in hand, once City get into a certain mood and they start winning games, they can become relentless. They can just keep winning game after game after game after game. And once Arsenal trip up, once they lose again, and I'm sure they will drop points tomorrow against Chelsea. Oh yes. Once they drop those points against
Drop
Chelsea.
points again against Chelsea.
Yes. Once they drop those points against Chelsea,
I think they should continue with that momentum they've built up again. They built up against them.
against Spurs.
Yeah.
No, I think
points against Chelsea. There,
I
that's,
think when you
there.
consider an Arsenal run of form, defeating Tottenham is not something that should be considered as a positive turnaround or a huge challenge. Because Tottenham, even when they are in the best of form, they tend to roll over when it comes to Arsenal. I don't know what that situation is about. That's a discussion for another day. But then looking at Arsenal, they can come have a good run of games, then start drawing. Draw 2 in a row. 1 draw, 1 loss. They've had their issues, drew with Brentford, drew with Wolves. They've gotten back on form with the win against Tottenham. But this Chelsea game, I have as for Arsenal, I have no confidence in Arsenal that they will get those 3 points. No
I think
confidence.
Kobe is a bit harsh on Arteta. If it was Arteta of
Well,
old,
y'all just hold on for me.
Yeah.
In the space of 2 minutes, we have 2 goals from the St. James's Park. First, it was all square. Newcastle had equalized through Jacob Ramsey. And then your favorite striker in Beto has added a second for Everton. So hey, don't do that to Beto. Beto, the way David Moyes is in Fulham, man. Well, so 2-1 for the Toffees.
Yeah, like I was saying, Kobe.
So
I
3
think
goals
Kobe
already.
was a bit harsh on Arteta because if it was previous years and he made that comment about Arteta, you know, showing the jitters, I would be 100% on board. But he's shown improvement in compartmentalizing issues or games this time around. When you listen to him after that game against Wolves, last minute they considered an equalizer. The Arsenal of old would have, the Arteta of old would have absolutely been crushed. But I looked at his body language in the post-game presser. I heard all the things that he said and the way he went about his business and got them to beat Tottenham Hotspur the game after. Then I could sense that yes, there was improvement. If it wasn't the fact that it was Manchester City with Pep Guardiola at the helm, with all these brilliant players that they've assembled and are getting to that level where they were just dominant. They are not dominant yet. They don't have that aura of invincibility around them yet. But they are getting there. They are getting there. And it's not about Arsenal. The reason why I picked Man City to maintain the pressure on Arsenal and possibly win the league ahead of Arsenal is not because of Arsenal, like it's an Arsenal problem. No, it's more of Man City and what they can do.
The know-how on the part of City.
Yes,
in
and what they
positions
can,
like this.
Yes, what they can do and their capability, especially when they have to play each other twice. So with City also having a game in hand. So let's say City win that outstanding game. They beat Leeds United later today. They will have to play against Arsenal. If they beat Arsenal, they get in front of Arsenal. They get in front of Arsenal. So it's not necessarily an Arsenal problem. It's more of what City is as a team and what Pep Guardiola is doing, changing his style. Because now, if you look at it carefully, the first half of the season, they were heavy in transition. That's how come they dropped some games that were a bit shocking. Because in transition, when they had the ball, brilliant. When they lost possession, their structure was flawed. And then there was the fact that there wasn't Rodri, and even when he was there, he had just recovered from the ACL thing, so he wasn't himself. And on top of that, in his absence, Nico Gonzalez couldn't keep up and do that job that Rodri was doing in his prime. And so, structurally, there were flaws, and there were some injuries to the back line. That's why they went in there and brought in Maguire. So, transition, heavy transitions. But they realized that that is not sustainable, more or less. And so, the second part of the season, he's rejigged a little bit. They are still doing the transition bit, That's why he brought in Antoine Semenyo. One of
Yeah.
the reasons why he brought in Antoine Semenyo.
Yeah.
But now, in his one of his pre-game presses, he explained that it wasn't he explained. BBC, their tactical correspondent, he referenced a 2006 article that Pep Guardiola wrote about Spain at the World Cup, 2006 World Cup, when Spain beat Tunisia by 3-1, and he gave practical breakdown why his fluid front three wouldn't necessarily stay up top or upfield deep in the box, but they will drop off a little bit and drag the defenders along with them, but not too close to the middle, because if it's too close to the middle, then there wouldn't be enough space for the midfielders.
Yeah.
And that game they played Xabi Alonso, Cesc Fabregas, and I think Marco Senna. Yes, I think it was Marco Senna. They wouldn't have enough space. So in that sense, it is down to the strikers or the forwards to be able to judge or read the level of distance that they drop, and to be able to make that perfect read in terms of timing, to run in behind the defenders who are with them or who have moved a little bit deeper with them, and so there's space in behind, knowing very well that the fullbacks have also advanced very high up the pitch. So in that sense, now that is what they are doing, Man City. And since Antoine Semenyo was introduced to the setup, knowing very well that he is their only more or less out and out winger, because now Savinho is not available, Jeremy Doku still is not available, so that's how he's rejigging. And I look at all these things, and I look at Arsenal, for instance. Are they doing those adjustments? I don't see it. So it's not an Arsenal problem because they are quite comfortable doing what they are doing and what they've done so far. The set pieces, relying on counter attacks, a few Gyökeres good goals here and there, but you need to do more to be able to fend off this Man City problem, quote unquote problem, if you are Arsenal. And I think they've done their bit and they are doing their bit, but like I said, I don't see it as it being enough to be able to beat Manchester City to win the title. I just don't see it. It's like it will be like a throwback to Jurgen Klopp in his prime Liverpool, where you could tell that take Man City out and Jurgen Klopp would have won 2 extra Premier League titles. It's not that his team was bad. It's just that he just ran into an absolute juggernaut where there's nothing you can do. You've done your best, but some way, somehow, there's a tiny step higher than you. And that's where Manchester City were operating at. So, at that point, even now, people who, at that time I raised that point, people were just coming at me like, oh, you're overly rating Jurgen Klopp. But now they see it, that this guy, the job that he did, it was super, super, super remarkable. That he leaves and an slot comes in and he wins the league title based off what Jurgen Klopp had done. The moment Manchester City slipped. So that's how I see it. And like I said, I don't see it as an Arsenal problem, but it's just that Man City are just too good. And I see them getting better as the season comes to an end. So that's why I see Man City potentially winning the title, but definitely keeping the heat on Arsenal to the very end.
Okay, so you are doing justice to the first question we asked, if City can usurp Arsenal to the title. He thinks yes. Elsewhere at Turf Moor, it's been a great away day for Brentford so far because it's 3 goals and most likely 3 points all before halftime. So Brentford. Okay, speaking of threes, Liverpool have added a 3rd goal from Alexis McAllister. It's Liverpool 3, West Ham United 0. Good day for Liverpool fans, manager and his lot, and the Liverpool players themselves. So that takes us to our second question we're asking. The poll is up on YouTube, and the question we're asking is that if Liverpool can grab one of the Champions League spots with 10 games to go, Kwashe will do that job for us. It was a corner kick.
The technique.
The technique from.
technique.
Oh, look at the pass from. And the pass
Ekitike.
was from Ekitike.
So again,
That was sweet. That's technique
look,
overload.
technique. See,
Oh my
pass,
goodness!
cushion
Yeah.
pass,
What's
brilliant,
Bissaka doing?
One was
execution.
trying to head it off the line, but
Yeah.
he ended up
Dignity.
helping it.
Yeah. So Liverpool doing justice to West Ham United. Liverpool 3, West Ham United 0. So our second question is up. We have some guys voting already. Question. Let me start off with you on that. Yeah, how to say slightly on that topic. If Liverpool can grab one of the Champions League spots with 10 games to go, this conversation can actually be broad because depending on how the English teams fare in Europe, right, the slots could be 5 and maybe 6. So, but just let's just limit it to 4 or 5. Okay, 5 for now. If if you think Liverpool can, I don't know if you want me to help you with Liverpool's run of games, or you've checked already.
I have an idea of who you are playing.
Okay.
I mean, I think this weekend is quite crucial because
Yeah.
Arsenal are playing, how do you call it, Chelsea.
Yeah.
So if Liverpool win, I think they will win this weekend. If Liverpool win this weekend, and how do you call it, and Chelsea are unable to pick up points against Arsenal,
Yeah.
I definitely think that Liverpool now
Their
have the
chances
edge
are good.
with the run of games and with the fact that Chelsea have. I mean, it's not a tougher game, but I'd say playing against PSG would probably be more exhausting than having to play against Galatasaray. So in that sense, I'd back Liverpool to use that advantage to be able to just secure the spot. Because if they win this game, the gap goes to 3 points between Liverpool and Chelsea. Now it's a matter of whether Chelsea are going to be good enough to take points of Arsenal tomorrow. If Chelsea are able to take a full win of Arsenal tomorrow, that also changes the title picture had it completely, but it also means that Chelsea put themselves back in position to be the best team to qualify. Wow.
Okay,
Yamal.
Kwashi, just hold on for me. Barcelona have responded.
Hey.
It's what's he doing?
the chest bump.
Chest bump was savage.
Lamine Yamal with the goal for Barcelona. 27 minutes played at the Camp Nou. The Barca fans elated to see their young kid, star kid, whatever you want to call it. Call him
Star Boy.
Star boy.
Messi successor.
Messi SQ or what? Yeah, so the goal scorer is Lamine Yamal. Look at that.
Junior Messi.
Nicolas Pepe loses the ball just around the center
won the ball in
circle.
midfield. Really good pass.
Femin lays in a sweet pass to find Lamine Yamal.
I mean, that's a bread.
He hasn't got enough power, but just finds his spot and goes past the goalkeeper.
That's the thing. For a finish like that, it takes more technical skill than power.
And you
Just
see, I was
placed
just
it.
about asking this question.
Yeah.
It's something I've realized with Ekitike. A lot of his goals hasn't got like much power. He just picks a spot
Yeah.
and plants the ball there. The next player who does that too is Cole Palmer.
Yeah.
He's also got that technique, and that's the thing with some of these players that have come up in recent
And if you
times.
remember the how do you call it, the Club World Cup final that we're watching, so
Yeah.
Palmer initially earlier when he
Yeah,
had that
yeah,
early shot
yeah,
and he ballooned
yeah,
over the
yeah.
bar and he was able to adjust himself quickly.
Yeah.
I think that is one of the how do you call it, the telling abilities of a good player, because it means you know where you want to put the ball.
Exactly.
Most people actually just they're aiming at the goal, if that makes sense. They're
Yeah.
shooting at the goal, but they don't necessarily have already in mind where they want to place the ball. And I think, you noticed that thing too with Mbappe. But I like the way Mbappe can deceive you with the deception. So it looks like he go into the other corner and then he just slots it in the other side. Yeah, I think it's just a sign of a good.
Yeah, I used
a
to
good
play
finisher.
like that.
I mean,
My
I have
active
no
days.
doubt about that, Gab.
Yeah.
But I think it's also a general culture change, because now we don't see as many long range goals as we used
Like
to.
strikes.
Yes, as we used to see
Yeah.
in the Premier League, maybe in the mid.
So more of the goals are
late 2000s.
fair
Uh,
to them, Aston
cooked
Villa,
inside the ball.
this season in particular have started using the long goal system. So if you've noticed, they've had a lot of strikes from Buendia and Morgan Rogers. And they've also realized that they give a lot of space around the areas. And in terms of outperforming their XG, all they do is have that score from there. The more goals that they're able to take advantage of, because they have the space and they are technically gifted players, it can work.
Yeah.
So for some teams, it doesn't always work. But I get what you mean that now.
Yeah.
And you even note, I think Semenyo too, since he's the latter part of the season, earlier on in the season, he was also shanking a bit. But if you look at it, since he's moved into City especially, it looks like he's got this placement. But just keep the ball down low on target, and yeah, it's showing
Okay.
It's went for them.
So, Kashi, I think you're making a point on Liverpool if they can make it grab one of the spots for.
Yeah, I was saying that it's dependent. This weekend is quite important, and if Liverpool are able to win and Chelsea are not able to win tomorrow, I think that puts them in a better position, especially if you look at the games that Chelsea have to
play.
Yeah, the games that Chelsea have to play. If you look at the Champions League, especially like I was saying, playing against PSG might be a tough test for them. Last season Chelsea were able to play two different teams. They play a different team for the Conference League and for the Champions League. The quality of the Champions League means that that's not possible for them this season.
He can't afford to be rotating.
And I mean, I hope João Pedro can keep his form up. But the problem with Chelsea is when João Pedro is not on form, Liam Delap hasn't been in form the whole season. So there's no direct replacement for him in terms of goal scoring. I don't know how much that will change next season with Jackson, given that his loan deal at Bayern looks like it's not going to be made permanent.
No.
At this point, at Bayern Munich, he's coming back.
He's coming back. So I don't know if it's a different manager now under Rosinia. I thought Sterling might have a chance. It looks like that didn't happen.
He's gone to Holland.
But I'd like to imagine that Jackson might be given a chance under a different head coach, especially when he sees the materials he's being made to work with. But yeah, I think Liverpool
can make.
I think Liverpool can
Champions
make it.
League
It only also depends if they don't also get distracted by the other competitions that they are in.
Okay.
But if you look at where they've picked up form, I think they'll just be disappointed at how bad the run of games was. To lose 9 and 12 games in all competitions.
They are not in the FA Cup.
Liverpool.
Yeah.
They are.
They're still in the FA Cup.
Yeah, they are in the FA Cup.
Yeah, so they still have 3 competitions. Like I said, he said 3 goals: qualify for Champions League, try and win the Champions League, or try and win the FA Cup. And if he's able to get either one of them, that could help.
I have to check the charts. If they beat Galatasaray,
who they are? They are on the other part of the draw.
Yeah,
and I'm part of the tree. So I think that's where the big teams, a lot of them have lined up. And then the other side of the tree
Arsenal
is where Bodo Glimt, Arsenal, Bayer Leverkusen,
Barca,
Sporting Lisbon, and those people.
Newcastle in France.
Yeah, so it will still be like a tough run for Liverpool. They are able to go past.
Yeah, I mean, if looking at the Champions League fixtures now, if they were able to win their games, they would face either PSG or Chelsea.
Yes.
And if they were able to win either of those games, they would space a semi-final against either Real Madrid or Man City on that side of the draw. Before they now get to the final and either play Arsenal or Barca.
That path is difficult. Even the Galatasaray
game, it feels like the kind of game that on a slot season is like the type of game he would lose in this season. So I'm not even sure about that.
So they beat Galatasaray. They play the winner of the Chelsea PSG
game.
Hopefully Chelsea wins and then we beat Chelsea and then we meet either Real Madrid or...
I don't see Chelsea beating PSG. This is not like a one-off like the FIFA Club World Cup. It's not a one-off.
Yeah, it's 2 games for
games.
Yeah,
and I don't
PSG have had injury problems. It seems like throughout the season they've had a lot of their attackers either in or out. Due was out for a bit. Even Dembele, even last season. Quares too. So like and sometimes you expect a full form PSG. I think against the Chelsea game, you saw it. They couldn't play either 3 of them. You had to go with Mayulu and these little not children, but the youngsters.
Yes.
I rate Bakola highly. If he can find a manager who can code him like Vinicius and Sterling, his life will change because he's a top quality winger. But beyond the front line that they have, they don't necessarily have a lot of quality below that. There's a lot of youth, but not a lot of quality. And if Chelsea can meet them,
he's coming quite solid. And this time around, you look at PSG, for instance. I mean, one of the reasons why they got a bit wobbly was Marquinhos was also out for a bit. He also has some injury issues.
Look at just one pass.
And now he's back. And this time around, Hakimi is also back.
Yeah.
So they are not playing Zaire Emery.
Yeah.
They are not playing Zaire Emery as a right full back. The way Liverpool are doing with Szoboszlai as a right full back. That's the same thing that Luis Enrique was doing with Zaire Emery. So now they look a bit more compact and a bit more well structured in terms of the way they set up.
Okay.
So yeah, that game, in the next 2 weeks, I see PSG qualifying. I don't know about beating Chelsea home and away, but I see them qualifying.
Okay.
So, that would be a tough one for Liverpool.
All right. Is halftime across match venues, starting off from The Turf Moor is Burnley 1, Brentford 3. At Anfield, Liverpool 3, West Ham United 0. At the St James's Park, Newcastle United 1, Everton 2. In there, when you head to let me see. Okay, when you go to Spain, Barcelona taking on Villarreal. Barca with the lead. Lamine Yamal scoring for Barcelona in that game there. Later, 5:30, Mallorca will take on Real Sociedad, and on Oviedo up against Atletico Madrid. Barca have added a second goal. I'm not watching the spiritual. I'm just using my tab. So yeah, it's blinking. Daniel is a blink. Barca have added the second goal. So guys, just sit and wait for that second goal. Yeah. In the Italian Serie A, Como 3, Lecce 1, and later 5 p.m. there's Verona up against Napoli, and then Inter Milan will take on Genoa at 7:45 p.m.
It's quite strange. I expected Napoli to
win
the title, but the way things are going,
I think Inter will win. Yeah, Inter will
it's
win.
They have like what 7 points.
Whoosh,
It's about 10 points.
Wow.
My goodness.
Wow. You know, I was waiting for the goal, but I wasn't expecting this. This is
Yeah,
incredible.
my goodness.
This is
The
incredible.
boy is fast, you know.
The first take, the second one, Lamine Yamal is hot. It's Barcelona 2, Villarreal 0, and you should see the beauty of the goal.
And the celebration.
Oh,
he's just
sorry.
telling you guys to
Look, he
shut
just
it,
didn't do
shut
much.
it,
He
shut
just waited for the defender to come,
Maybe.
pokes the ball in through his legs, does it twice, and curls the ball to the far left of the goal post to give Barcelona a 2-goal lead against Villarreal. Look at that again.
Can you imagine earlier this season people were comparing him to Estevao?
Yeah, like-
the disrespect is.
You know, it happens so
Charlie.
much with a lot of they get compared to other guys, then they just.
Well, he's
stretch
a
out the
different
gap.
class. I
Yeah.
think
They
if
just
you
stretch out the gap.
probably
So when he
appreciate football,
when he
you can
struggled
see
in that game against Chelsea,
Yeah.
sometimes football fans can be very fickle.
Oh,
Yeah.
super
Very
real. That's why I
reactive.
don't engage in those kind of
Very
things, because it's not a one thing. That's why me and you were on the other side, and coach and Nketia were on the
Yeah.
other side. The
Like-
Joshua Champon thing.
Exactly.
I'm like, bro,
Because
chill.
the guy
He's
is
good.
what?
Because he played well in 5 games. Relax.
Oh.
I'm like, bro, chill, relax. It's not you doing very well in
Just
a couple
a
of
few
ga-
games,
in
no.
a couple
Be
of games.
consistent with it.
Be consistent
Yeah.
in, let's say,
In a stretch
across
of games,
a full,
yeah.
a full season, or maybe even half a season. Then I can start getting serious about comparing you to other people. But what, 10 game, 8 game stretch, and the next thing you know, yeah, he's better than Salisu.
No.
Prior to Salisu getting that ACL injury, he was performing
yeah,
very well.
I think he was doing very well.
He was
Performing
our best
very
centre
well.
back.
He was our best centre back. Yes, Monaco. He was doing very well. So it's one of those things like Estevao better than Lamine Yamal. Come on.
And you see, the thing is, Lamine had already had a good season.
Yes.
As in that
He even
season,
won
that-
the
I-
Euros.
he's
He's
even
even
won the
seasons.
Euros. I don't even want to go far. In that season that we were comparing Estevao with Lamine,
He's coming off
How
winning
many
the
games
league.
did
Coming off
Estevao-
winning a league
Like,
title
I
in the
understand.
Euros.
He was coming off a Ballon d'Or second place
Charlie.
finish. How do you say? How do you compare Estevao?
Estevao, who has just come from the Brazilian league. Oh, guys. Guys.
look, the Brazilians themselves don't even do that.
Oh.
They don't even do that. I'm sure they even wish they had both players in their team.
Oh yeah, because right now the Brazilian team here. Okay, yes, Vinicius is good, and Rafinha is very good.
Yeah.
But for me, Rodrigo, yeah, he's solid, but he doesn't meet that standard. And so-
show them.
Yeah,
There's
that's
nothing-
your striker. Yeah, you see,
Oh, Charlie.
you see the way Beto.
you see,
Oh.
is this the goal? Is it the goal? No, Beto scored. Is it the type of goal Beto
this-
scored?
No, but
is
he
a striker's
started-
finish.
Look
This is
at-
striker's
Look at
instinct.
Nick Pope.
No,
See
yeah.
at Nick Pope.
It's the
No,
instinct.
I mean, I can't even.
There are
I'm
some
surprised it was
strikers-
even that
No,
far.
yeah,
There are
let's
some
not
strikers
let's
who
not
will
discredit
allow-
the young man.
There are some strikers who actually allow Nick Pope to catch this ball.
Yeah.
But
No, but
You
even
see-
before that, he made himself. He started it too.
Yeah,
Yes.
that quick turn.
Yeah.
exactly. So what are we talking about here? Beto has performed excellently. Yeah, you need.
Just back to
You need to
Yamal.
give him his due.
Statistically, this has actually been one of his most impressive seasons in La Liga alone. He's
You mean
already
this season?
He's already on 12,
How many goals?
12 goals and 9
12
assists
goals.
in La Liga alone.
21 goal contribution.
In just
In
in
how
just
many?
the
12
league.
goals, 9
In just the
assists.
league. In just the league.
In
So
just the
that's-
league, yeah.
And that's coming off the back of last season where there was a lot. Like last season, he did well, but I don't think he hit double figures in either goals or assists. So he's getting to a different level. He's actually getting better, and he's a different level. I mean, I think a lot of people try and make comparisons when there's a young gem coming out of their club. I think I did the same thing with Rio when he was coming up from Liverpool. But if you actually watch Yamal, you just appreciate how good of a footballer he is.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the word on Lamine Yamal. He has a brace already for Barcelona.
Also,
in that game
to
against
point out
Villarreal.
that there's a lot of conspiracy theories about how Barca have been given the early kickoff in La Liga 4 weeks in a row during Ramadan when Yamal will be fasting.
Yeah.
But I think over the last 2 weeks he's been able to show up. So I don't think it's affecting him in any way. So
I think honestly, look, if anyone should be right now, Lamine Yamal has grown out of that youngsters comparison, prodigy, those things. He's now an established player. He should be compared to people like Michael Olise, those guys.
but he's 18. The thing is, he's young.
Or Vinicius Junior, those guys.
Even players like Cole Palmer, he's at least 6-5 years younger than Cole Palmer.
Exactly.
Like
So he's going beyond that whole Esteval thing. It
for
was
me,
so funny.
I think he's creating. He's just carving his own path. He's in a league on his own.
Yeah. It was so funny to me when I heard, it's Chelsea fans very, very over the top with everything. So I'm not surprised.
Let me take some comments on WhatsApp console 053 996 996. That's the WhatsApp line. It's working, so you can send in your thoughts. Ellie says, yesterday y'all made me laugh, sir, when he was asked about Chelsea versus PSG. He directly said Chelsea will lose. Well, tell him it's not his fault. He should go and check Liam Rosinia and Luis Enrique's results in the French Ligue 1. Even that was an average Strasbourg and is now Chelsea. With James, Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo will not allow that to happen. So y'all should get ready for Chelsea. We are the pride. See, he said we are the pride and hope of England for the past 20 years. when it comes to European trophy. No, but yesterday we made. I mentioned that point.
Yeah, relax.
That if Liam Rosina Strasbourg is beating Enrique's PSG with that team,
wonderful.
At that point he was tagged as the underdog. So if he's doing
wonderful.
It
but you see, all the names that you mentioned, I didn't hear any defender's name. I didn't hear the goalkeeper's name. I didn't hear the goalkeeper's name.
You said Reece James.
One of the reasons why Chelsea are inconsistent is because one, their disciplinary record terrible. You are winning the game. Wesley Fofana goes to get himself a red carded. Then all of a sudden the momentum changes and Burnley gets a 94th minute equalizer. 2 points lost. That's one of the reasons why they are inconsistent.
Yeah.
Another reason they are inconsistent. There's no way the Chelsea are holding their own against Arsenal. Carabao Cup semi-final. Then Robert Sanchez goes and allows the ball to slip through his hand.
And then Victor Gyökeres
scores. Even the first goal, the same thing, he was at fault.
Yeah.
So those things. So I look at those things and I compare it to PSG. I don't see Chelsea beating PSG.
All right.
And it's two legs. It's not one leg.
Yeah.
Like what happened at the FIFA Club World Cup. No.
Daniel, let's take more messages. Kwame from Aoshi says, so all of a sudden Chelsea will let Arsenal drop points. This Chelsea team doesn't want a football match against Arsenal for God knows how long. Keep on doubting and Arsenal will keep on proving you wrong. Okay. Eddie says 3 corners, 3 goals for Liverpool. All of their goals came from corner kicks. I'm a Spurs fan and I'm glad that with what Liverpool is doing to West Ham and Forest, okay, with a laughing emoji. Okay, Wandani from Zebila says, I'm a Madrid fan, but I believe all things being equal, we'll go trophyless again. I think Bayern Munich will win a Champions League. Okay. Forcing Marshall inside Banana Inn says, Wolves are behaving like MPP. Just causing. Hey, Forcing Marshall, how are you linking?
I'm even leaning more into Arsenal winning it.
Okay, let me take some more messages on YouTube. J Keck says, what level is Esteval better than Yamal? Bench level or religious level?
Yeah, I mean the number of times he crosses him. So
Chelsea fans are demeaning sometimes. The comparison between Yamal and Esteval was nothing but a disrespect to football. Okay, Estevao is better than Yamal.
Yeah.
You guys always talk bad about you. You see, when you send a message on the show and you begin to personalize and you attack, right? It's not something we condone here. So if Yao says something or I say something or Kobna says something, don't attack, don't insult. Just make your point. We'll read it out for you. We are sharing our opinions. Back we start. So if you share your opinion, you have your start to it, you back it, but don't text and be insulting people. Because I'm not reading your comments to insult you. Do you get the point I'm making? I think we need to educate people about these things. Because people hide behind their accounts. Come and leave your thoughts. Then you're insulting people. This is somebody's work. The person has read, come and sit on radio, educate you about what the player has done, or then you are sending your thoughts and you are insulting.
Yamal almost got a hat trick. Just on that, but he missed. But yeah.
Someone with all you one T says, okay. Now I think I have to start editing people's. If Chelsea wins tomorrow or get the points, that favors City and Liverpool. Swiss Kwame says, Gabi the lie pass. You kicked ball before. Okay. City have been average this season, but they can still win the league. It says Beto Bakope with a laughing emoji. Okay. Spurs are good against only City. All right, let's take our second break. When we come back, we'll talk more, some more football update for you at 4:30, and then we'll activate the phone line so you can also call us and also share your thoughts with us. You're still watching the Republic of Football on 97.3 and on radio 97.3 as well. On YouTube is City Sports GHA, on TV, Channel 1 TV. I'm Gabi Ofe here with Manuel Angelo Kwache, Yahweh Jaminta, and Kobna Obeng. We'll be back after this. Okay. 97.3. This is the Republic of Football every Saturday, Sunday. This is the place to listen to every weekend for all the updates from the major European leagues. Liverpool are taking on West Ham United. It's Liverpool 3, West Ham 1. The final game for today is at the Bramall Lane. Leeds United taking on Manchester City. Elsewhere in Spain is halftime between Barcelona and Villarreal. Lamine Yamal with a brace for Barcelona. Two very good goals from Lamine Yamal. 0539986996. You can call us. Nope, not call. I mean text. The phone lines will be activated pretty soon, and then you can call us and also share your thoughts with us. But in the meantime, just leave your thoughts. 0539966996. 0539966996. Como have beaten Lecce by 3-1. At 5 p.m. there is Verona up against Napoli. Then Inter Milan will take on Genoa for the Italian Serie A. When you go to Germany, Borussia Mönchengladbach are playing a goalless draw with Union Berlin. Bayer Leverkusen are losing to Mainz by 1-0. Hoffenheim 0, St. Pauli 1. Werder Bremen are also beating Heidenheim. Werder 1, Heidenheim 2, 82 minutes played. Later 5:30. The Klassiker is on between Borussia Dortmund and Bayern Munich at the Signal Iduna Park. Dortmund wins today. They cut the points gap to 5 between they and Bayern Munich. Let me get to the second poll, and I think I'll get Kobna's thoughts on that Liverpool bets. Then our final poll will be for the Dortmund Bayern Munich game. So can Liverpool grab one of the Champions League spots with 10 games to go? 58% say yes. 42% say no. So we have 36 votes so far. Kobna, do you agree to what we have on the table? 58 saying that Liverpool can take one of the spots for Champions League football next season, and then 42 say nope.
I think this question, the answer to it depends on Liverpool, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, it depends on the teams who are already in the top 4.
Okay.
And how they perform the rest of the season. Aston Villa, out of the top 4, Aston Villa are the most shaky. As Yao said earlier, and I believe Kwache said as well, Arsenal and Manchester City are not going anywhere. So it depends on Manchester United and Aston Villa and how they perform for the rest of the season. Villa are on the downward spiral. Manchester United are on the ascendancy.
Okay.
They had a blip against West Ham, but they've returned to form for Everton.
Yeah.
What's the chance that Cody Gakpo missed?
Cody Gakpo with a shot.
Hey! What's he doing?
It doesn't. You play next week. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You still play.
No worries.
But why is he even hitting it one time? Because I thought that he has so much time.
I think he could have gone inside. I think he went side foot.
Yeah, so take it with your left foot.
Yeah.
Maybe cut on into your right or something like that.
I don't know.
Oh.
Another chance
anyway,
again.
no, he's lost it.
It's not going to happen. Okay. Well, come on. Sorry about that. You can proceed.
No problem. So moving back. So apart from the teams within the top 4 and how they perform for the rest of the season, it also depends on Liverpool.
Okay.
Next week, or in fact, in the coming week on Tuesday, Liverpool face Wolves at the Molineux. Now,
Liverpool face Wolves at the Molineux.
Yes, that's their next game.
I was just about saying, but everybody's beating Wolves.
Yes, but
yesterday they beat Aston
Villa. They beat Aston Villa at the same Molineux.
I can't say that anymore.
At the same Molineux. So looking at this, I mean, this is a game that Liverpool, they might draw. They could even lose.
I mean, I get that, but to be fair, you'd rather play the team that's last than any other position. I get the point you are
but
making.
the team
but
that's last, but on red hot, I mean, I wouldn't say
Red
red hot form.
hot
red
is
hot
a
form is a
stretch.
On
stretch.
some good form.
But they're on good form. They're on good form. I mean, the win against
They've
Aston
won
Villa will
3
be
games
a
all
shot in
season.
the arm. Yes,
Mm.
but to be a
This
shot in
manager
the
has
arm.
only won 2 games.
Mm.
And they
Like,
got a
let's-
draw against Arsenal. That's
Exactly.
why.
But in their last
What I'm
four,
saying is that-
in their last
and the
4
thing is
games, it's been decent.
Exactly.
I think
compared
2
to-
draws and 2 wins in there.
Honestly,
I think we're being generous. but
honestly,
it's
I
fine.
think me using
for a
the
team that has
term
30
red hot,
points for the whole season, I think
Yeah.
we're being quite generous.
I think me using the term
He's
red hot
looking at
form
the context
is not
of
as much.
since Rob Edwards took over.
Yeah.
Over their last 3 games.
Yeah, they've
Some-
turned the
and-
corner
and-
slightly.
and the
Yes.
corner is they were
And so
losing
they've
all.
turned
The corner is they went 10 games without winning, and now
Yes.
they are not losing every game.
And so they
Exactly.
can continue on that
They
good
can
part.
continue. I'm
against
not
Liverpool.
saying I'm not talking about Wolves actually getting out of the relegation.
Oh no,
zone.
I
That's a
get that.
foregone
I get that.
conclusion.
But I
They are
feel
gone.
like
But
the fact that they are not as bad as they were at the start of the season makes us think that they are good. Whereas they are still bad. They are just not as bad as they were at the start.
that is true. But
That's
then
just the
Don't
point.
worry,
for
we'll-
a team
we will
that's
revisit this conversation when they lose to Wolves.
yeah, But for a team that's rooted to the bottom of the league, being able to beat Aston Villa, who are currently third, and will stay third or not, depending on how United performs this weekend. But for them to be able to do that, for them to be able to take a point off of Arsenal, who are competing for the title and are currently top of the table, and as I said, now they are purely playing for pride. And this is them at the Molineux. They were able to take 3 points off of Villa at the Molineux. So I don't think they will go into that game scared of Liverpool. And a brave Wolves team, a Wolves team that's not playing scared, is a daunting prospect for any team.
Yeah.
So I mean, Liverpool will have to be careful to take those points, because once Aston Villa are able to get their act together, I mean, with or without the injury issues, once they get their act together, they are able to string some games.
Yeah.
Because in their final games, it's not just Wolves. They have to face Fulham. They have to face Brighton. They still have to play the game against United at Anfield.
Yeah.
These are games that Liverpool can win, but they are also games in which Liverpool can drop points. So it all depends on them and their level of focus and their level of commitment. At this point in time, they are juggling 3 competitions.
Okay.
The Prem, the FA Cup, and in the 5th round as well, they are going to meet Wolves again at the Molineux. So it depends on them and how they handle these games. These are games that Liverpool can win, but they are also games that they can lose. So Liverpool need to make sure that they are focused all the way and they don't need to get complacent at any point in time. They just need to be focused, take the games one at a time, and they can definitely finish in the Champions League spots. But as I said earlier, it also depends on the teams who are currently in the top 4. If Aston Villa pick up, if United continue on the good form that they're already on, it will be difficult. I think definitely Liverpool can finish top 5, but then top 4 it's still a bit dicey for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is from Nicholas. He says this season Madrid should rest and wait for next season because Barcelona is going for the league again. Visca Barca hashtag. I guess Arsenal win something this season. Was Arteta. Okay, so another one from Kojo Dakon Adai. He says my first time of watching the show, and I'm loving every bit of it. I'm a United fan, and I'm hoping for crystallizing win tomorrow. Okay, Kojo Dakon Adai says Bauer Barracks, Air Force Base in Tamale. Okay, so watching us all the way from Tamale. So that's it with the second poll. If Liverpool can grab one of the Champions League spots with 10 games to go, we have 59% saying yes now and no saying, 41% saying no to that. Okay, somebody's asking who falls out if Liverpool makes it into the top 4. Villa or Chelsea?
Villa or Chelsea?
Top 4 Villa.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
he's
a top
saying
5.
yeah, it's supposed to be top 5.
I think Liverpool are. I think Chelsea are the most at risk.
Likely.
To fall out, eh?
Yeah, and this one he can come for us.
I mean,
And,
yeah, that's
yeah,
what
we are haters. Yeah, what?
We somehow seems to be anti-Chelsea and
people come for
anti-Arsenal
you.
and
Yeah,
all
they
that
say
at the same
You see,
time.
Yeah.
that
anti-Chelsea
is-
and
no,
anti-Arsenal.
they are just in their feelings. I mean, trust me. Okay, so I gave you a reason why I see Man City usurping Arsenal. Then I backed it up with facts. even quoting an article from Pep Guardiola back in 2006. An article Pep Guardiola wrote back in 2006 based off Spain's World Cup win over Tunisia. You can go and check it out. Spain beat Tunisia by 3-1. And I've given you all these facts. And he's reinventing himself. And all this reinvention informed his decision to bring in specific type of players in Maguire and Antoine Semenyo.
Yeah.
And I don't see Arsenal doing same. What again do you want to hear?
And the thing is, what I've come to realize is that when somebody explains that, okay, so these are my reasons that I think that this will go south or this will not happen, I think they refuse to listen to the reasons or the explanations and just pick up your first point and say that, oh, okay, so because you said this and this, you are anti-Chelsea.
Yeah, the understanding of it is you are biased, and you're just explaining why you are biased, and that doesn't change the fact that you are biased. Whereas the truth is, to say hard truth about other clubs, you actually have to be objective about it.
Yes.
And sometimes that's the thing about football. That's why we all like football. If we all sat here and said, oh, PSG will win, let's end the Champions League, it wouldn't be like that. But sometimes in football, things can happen. So even if Chelsea aren't expected to win and they go and win, it doesn't necessarily mean that the analysis of the situation was wrong. It just means that based on the context of the situation, this was the most likely outcome. And sometimes it's just harder for people to agree with your view when they disagree with the view you're making.
It's punditry is projection, more or less.
Yeah.
So I say, oh, this will happen, or this is likely to happen, based off so and so. The quality of the players, the quality of the coaching style, the opposing team style, precedent, maybe injury issues, form dip, or form issues, form index guide, all of those factors. Maybe the defense is compact.
Yeah.
Throughout the entire season, but their defense is compact because they play with a high line, and so they compress the space in the middle and they choke teams out. But if you are playing against a team that has midfielders that can pass the ball quickly and they have a fast forward line, they can easily shift the ball in the middle, bypass your press, and loop the ball over your defenders and take advantage of that big space in behind them.
Yeah.
Then their fast forwards can move in, pick up the ball, run with it, and potentially score. So in that sense, yes, you might have the best form, but I'll go like, okay, I see a shocker happening, that this team will shock this other team and beat them. It's projection based on analysis, research, and all of those things. So when it happens, oh yeah, it's cool. But when it doesn't happen, then you turn around and say, oh yeah, you are biased.
Guys, guess this update. Burnley 3, Brentford 3.
Wow.
Burnley 3,
Wow.
Brentford 3. Comeback complete. Guess who scored again for Burnley? Zion Fleming.
Oh,
The chap who scored against
Chelsea's
Nemesis. Yeah, so the scenes at Turf Moor is looking really nice. Hannibal picking out Zion Fleming with a stunning ball, and the big striker plants his header into the bottom corner. So it's Burnley 3, Brentford 3 in that game. We'll be keeping tabs on that game, but let me take you to the Bramall Lane and bring you the starting 11 for the Elland Road. Leeds United taking on City. For Leeds, they start with Dalot. So manager Daniel Farke has named the same starting 11 that drew with Aston Villa 7 days ago. So Dalot, Bogle, Justin Roden, strike, Goodmanson, Starch, Pedro Greve, Aronson, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. For the subs, they've got Perry, Bonal, Bijol, Longstaff, Tanaka, James, Nonto, Nmecha, and Pirot. For the big news this afternoon, Haaland did not make the trip to Elland Road. Whoosh. The reason behind that is actually yet to be known. So I'm sure Pep will speak on that before the game starts. But City starts with Donnarumma, Matheus Nunes, Ruben Dias, Maguire, Aït-Nouri, Rodri, Silva, Nico Riley, Antoine Semenyo, Ryan Sheki, and then Omar Mamouche. For the subs, there's Trafford, Tiani Reinders, John Stones, Nathaniel Ake, or Nathan Ake, if you want to put it, Duki, Nico Saino Kwichanov, and then Phil Foden. So I think for the front three, yeah, you are trying to. Are we having Mamouche as the false 9 today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Semenyo
on the left, Sheki on the right.
Yeah.
Interesting starting 11 from Pep. But we've seen this before, though.
Oh yeah.
We've seen it before. So let's see how the front three. And I think it's not like a static front three. They can move in and around. Semenyo can take Mamouche's position. Sometimes you can even have Sheki on the left side because he's a player who's on the pedal, very good with both feet.
His technique is super.
Yeah, let's see what that will be. Guys, just quick thoughts on the starting 11 for that City one. Let me start off with you, Kabna. Everybody is freaking out that Haaland is not there. But I think we've seen this City team without Haaland in some of the games this season.
Yeah. And I think they'll be able to handle it. I mean, with the firepower of Marmouche, Sheki in the team, Antoine Semenyo, I think they'll be able to handle this lead side. I understand it's Ellen Road. Ellen Road is not an easy stadium to go to, regardless of the form Leeds United are in. And I still have that confidence in Manchester City. You know, one thing about Guardiola's teams is he sets the team up to suit the situation.
Yeah.
So it's never static. You can't, if you remove one piece, Pep is able to shift the other pieces around. You know, go into his bench, look for that squad depth, go over there and put the players who suit the situation. So I think Marmouche, even though he hasn't had a lot of joy from the start, but I think coming in today, he'll be able to deliver, and I think City will still come away.
City will be
points.
fine, right?
Yes, they'll be fine.
They'll
come away with the
I think
points.
City will
City
win
will be
this.
fine, yeah.
Yeah, I think City will win this, though it's away from home at a very tricky ground. Is that on offside?
Looks like it's been given.
Okay, so Villarreal, is that a guy? Papi Gay? Is that him?
I think so.
Okay, so Villarreal have put one goal. Back is
That's Park Gay. Yeah.
Villarreal 2. Villarreal 1, Barcelona 2. The chap from Senegal who scored the goal for Senegal to win their second half.
Yeah, he's not offside. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a legit goal.
Marginally, I think Rafinha accidentally played
Has
the
given
Yeah, that's a legit goal.
yeah.
That's a legit goal. I think Senegal, the two of their players that won the AFCON, if they go to the World Cup and they continue that form that they've shown so far, yeah, they'll be one of the hottest commodities in the off season once the World Cup is over.
Yeah.
If they can have a good World Cup and back it and back what they've done so far,
Yeah.
with that World Cup campaign, yeah, they
You think the big teams will be knocking?
Yeah, Papi Gay,
Especially
for instance.
Papi Gay. I want to see him in a very
Yeah, Papi Gay, for instance, he's
Yeah.
one that I would really love at, let's say, a club like maybe Chelsea. They're already sorted in that area, so because these days, Rich James can play as a DM.
Casemiro is leading this season.
Yeah, because I was coming to that. That Man United should really have a good look at him and his international teammate. That's Malik Diouf. We are watching Liverpool beating West Ham by 3-1. It's the 69th minute.
Yeah.
And Malik Diouf has been one of the standout performers in this game, particularly for West Ham United. And he has been a very consistent performer since he signed to join the club. And it's very likely they will sell him because coming into the studio, West Ham posted their financial report.
Yeah.
And they stated in that they will need to sell players to the tune of 110 million pounds in order to balance the sheet.
Yeah.
Or they will need to sell players in order to balance the sheet and take care of 110 million pounds in debt or financial distress. And so in that sense, if they are not even able to raise that amount of money through player sales, then they will have to look or call on the stakeholders to up their contributions to the team. And so in that sense, I look at his brilliant form, and Man United, a club like Man United, in need of a top level left full back who can play as a wing back. Yeah, Gakpo has scored.
Finally.
Okay, so it's
Deflection,
Liverpool
though.
for
Big deflection,
West Ham United.
Cody Gakpo.
One, Cody Gakpo finally adding his name to the goal scorers chart or list for Liverpool. So Liverpool for
Yeah. So
West Ham United. He's made up for that. Huh?
yeah,
I
that
mean-
even with that cry.
It took a large deflection, but I guess
I mean, if you don't shoot, you can't.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. It looks like the rest are cruising. This is what Arne Slot sees, and then he'll be starting week in, week out.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, that's the little bit on the Senegal duo. I think a club like Man United should look to sign those two guys. Malik Diouf, left full back, because Luke Shaw, yeah, he's just okay, but you need an upgrade in that position. And then you look at the midfield area, Pape Gueye, yeah, Casemiro leaving. You need a guy like him. That whole Carlos Baleba talk, for me, it's something that sits right with me. So I look at this Man City team, and I look at this starting 11, coming up against Leeds United. Yeah, without Erling Haaland, I don't think it would be too much of a big challenge. They're set up in a 4-1-4-1 formation, but in reality, the way I see it playing out, Semenyo will join Mamouche up top to form a two-man strike force.
Okay.
Then you have Ignori, pushing up very high and occupying that space that Antoine Semenyo will leave behind. So you have a back three. Then you have Rodri playing as the sole pivot. So it'll be more like a 3-1, 3-2
Okay.
formation with Nico O'Reilly also slotting in there on the left side with Bernardo Silva pushing up. So it will be more like a 3-1, 3-2 formation, more or less, in the sense that Semenyo and Mamouche will be up top with Bernardo Silva directly in the hole behind them. Then you have Nico O'Reilly, Ryan Cherki through the middle, playing behind Bernardo Silva.
Yeah.
Then Ignori consistently maybe drifting in to help Rodri in the middle if they are on the defensive side. But when they are on the attack, he will definitely push up. And then you have a situation where you have like just 4 people or 4 players defensively with as many as 6 up forward with Bernardo Silva, Nico O'Reilly, Cherki.
This high line.
Oh, it's a goal.
This
Oh! Yeah, Villarreal, they're consistently missing chances. They should have buried that one. Ayoze Perez, I'm not surprised. Yeah, they should have buried that one. So yeah, that's the little bit on Pep Guardiola. And yeah, I definitely do see them beating Liverpool. I definitely see them beating Leeds United with this kind of formation and with this personnel. Yeah, very versatile, very fluid. I see with a lot of quality. So yeah, Man City win for me.
Okay. Kwache, City winning as well.
yeah, no, I think it's a win for City. The thing that interested me the most about the lineup was the use of Nico O'Reilly in midfield, for 2 reasons. I think Guardiola started the season very much on the. I'd say he initiated him. Other people learned from him, but he was very insistent on using midfielders as his fullbacks this season, and he was playing Nico O'Reilly there a lot, and then Rico Lewis. But I'm okay with Matthias Nunes because I think he has fully adapted to the position now. I mean, initially I thought he was one of the best.
I think with the O'Reilly thing too, it also happened at the time when Ainuri was struggling with injuries. Performance-wise, he wasn't given. I'm not sure he was given too much of what Pep wanted to see.
Yeah, I mean.
So to play O'Reilly, then he performs in there. Then he got stuck with a player too.
No, but then why doesn't Nunez get the same grace? Because Nunez is actually a midfielder who was bought from Wolves.
Well,
yeah, he was brought in as a midfielder. So why is O'Reilly allowed to go back and play in midfield, but Nunez is stuck on the right?
So on that side,
I mean, he has enough cover.
And City don't even have like a proper right back.
Yes, he has enough
this
cover on that end, but for Matheus Nunes on the right
but
side,
he made that choice. He made that choice. He got rid of Walker, and Gomez was there. They had a Gomez guy that they brought.
But he was on the left side.
He was on the left side.
He was
as
on the
well.
left
He's
side.
on
Yeah.
left back,
So
yeah.
he doesn't have too many choices on the right
Yeah.
side. That's why
He
Nunes
doesn't
is
have
still
any
stuck.
But
actually.
since he bought Kyle Walker, he bought another right back.
No, he's
No.
not. He's not.
He hasn't.
And then he started using. In fact, I think Kawaka
And
was
even
there
when
he
Walker
started
was there,
using,
that's when Walker was there. That's when he was rotating with the midfielder. And
Yeah.
So that's when he was playing Fabian Delph, and then he brought Zinchenko from the academy, who was a midfielder, and started playing him as a fullback.
Yeah.
And these are all left-sided players as well.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just a surprise that he's at least on the left side. He's moved back to a full, using a fullback there. But that also means that Nico O'Reilly gets to play midfield. And you saw how he was doing last week. Last week he scored twice. It looked like I'm surprised that he's being able to play in that position because it looks like the 10 position looks like a place where they had enough cover with Cherki and Foden, and if maybe they wanted, they could even put Mamouche in there. So. Just in terms of that, I find that quite interesting. Just the shifting around of his midfield and his rotating of midfielders from fullback to position. I'm interested in seeing how well Nico O'Reilly can do in midfield. I don't know if he can lock down one of those positions, especially if Rodri comes back into good form. And the problem is he still doesn't want to play Cherki through the middle because that would solve it. But if he has Rodri and Reinders, it means that he just needs one more player to fill that hole. And based on Foden's form, it looks like he was the one that was going to be in that position. So I don't know how much this experiment of trying O'Reilly midfield will last for. But so far so good because it looks like it's having a different effect on the team.
Yeah, I think it reflects what I said in terms of his adaptability, because the first half of the season, it was more transitional. So it was using Tijani Reinders more because of his directness.
Yeah.
Now it's about using Nico O'Reilly's ability to control pace and to control the tempo of the game, whereas not at the same time not affecting the ability to hit on the counter attack or in transition, because he's also quite fast. He's not the fastest, but he's quick.
Okay. So we have our first caller. I'm yet to announce the phone line still, but we have our first caller. Hi, your name, where are you calling us from?
Hello.
Hi, your name, where are you calling us from, please?
Please, I not in Esiguma.
It's a wrong line. Thank you so much. 0549 96 996 Esiguma. Esiguma is where? The Western.
I think Sikuma.
Yeah.
Remember Sikuma is in Central Region.
0549 96
Wow.
996 0549 96 996.
Don't know if you missed it, but West Ham scored, right?
Yeah, 4-2.
Yes.
I
Castellanos.
Hey, I saw that update here.
Yeah. So now it's 4-2.
4-2, yeah.
Liverpool leading by 4 goals to 2.
054996 996 0549 96 996. Phone lines activated. Please call us and let's get talking, guys. Whilst we wait our callers, let's quickly jump to or head to Germany. There's the Klassiker happening later today, I think at 5:30. Dortmund taking on Bayern Munich at the Signal Iduna Park. Dortmund wins today. They cut a point to 5 points. Things that it won't happen because we've seen this before.
And I even if they beat Bayern Munich, which I don't think they will, it has next to zero implications on the title challenge.
Yeah,
because they'll still be trailing by how many? 5 points. And on top of that, you see, in other jurisdictions, as in the league wide, if let's say AS Roma and let's say Lazio play, it will still have major implications because those two teams will be battling for Europa League spots more or less. Europa League, Champions League, those spots. But with this, it's pretty much settled. Even if Dortmund win, Borussia Dortmund win, it's pretty settled. You know Bayern Munich are going to win the league because even if Borussia Dortmund beat them, Dortmund's penchant for dropping big games or dropping points will prevent them from building on that win over Bayern Munich. And so if you cut it multiple ways, I just don't see it, even warranting the classical mantra or tag, because it doesn't have any major implications on anything, because like I said, directly when it comes to the league title challenge, it wouldn't matter much because there will still be a significant gap. 5 points, it's no joke. It's something in between. And on top of that, even if Dortmund end up beating Bayern Munich, looking at the Dortmund trend over the years, where you needed to win on the final day of the Bundesliga to win the title, you couldn't win. Jude Bellingham's last game for Dortmund, they couldn't win, and the league ended up. League title ended up going to Bayern Munich.
Yeah,
that's how come Thomas Tuchel won that title with Bayern Munich. After they sacked Julian Nagelsmann midway through the season, he came in at the latter end, and some way somehow
sleepwalked his way to a title.
He managed to win the title because Dortmund, they dropped it, and that's why for me this game I don't think it will amount to anything. Even if Dortmund end up beating Bayern Munich, surprisingly, I still see Bayern Munich winning this one. But even if they end up losing it, still they walk away with the league title because Dortmund are just way too inconsistent.
Komna, I'm sure you also share the same thoughts, but that's why I'm heading into this game on the back of a 16-game unbeaten streak. That's healthy for them. You don't think that stats helps them in some way, somehow? Positions them in a very good spot to go on and get 3 points against Bayern?
I think it will put them in a good position mentally to take on Bayern Munich today. But I think this Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund situation, especially in the past 4 or 5 seasons, has been similar to Arsenal's form against Tottenham. It doesn't really have much to do with the recent form of Dortmund.
Just hold on for me. Burnley are winning 4-3. Hey,
wow.
Brentford.
I didn't even see a 7-goal thriller in this game. I thought you would see that Sunderland Bournemouth game.
Very boring.
1-1
scrappy
finish.
7? I said 7-3. 4-3. Burnley winning. Governor, please proceed.
It's turning into a classic. But anyway, looking at this, I mean, it's not that much of a competition anymore. And as I was saying, the form wouldn't really have too much to do with it. I don't think
your man again.
I don't think
there's a VAR check, but it's your man again.
Fleming.
Yeah.
I don't think
Fleming will play for United next season.
Okay. But as I was saying, I don't think Dortmund's form will have much to do with it. I don't think Dortmund, even though they'll be coming into this game buoyed by that 16-game unbeaten
it's a 5th goal for Liverpool. Jeremy Frimpong trying to score the pass ricochets of the defender. I think it should be giving us an own goal, but Frimpong won't care. He's smiling to give Liverpool that 3 goal.
Oh, our superstar
Axel Disasi,
Chelsea player.
Today, some people will meet you.
Oh, Charlie, that was a sweet pass from Cody Gakpo.
Wow. That's why So the Cody Gakpo just switched the pass to the right side.
Wow.
Lost my lead.
Frimpong takes it, trying to score the pass to Mohamed Salah, ricochets of Disasi, and it's an own goal. Liverpool 5, West Ham United 2. Elsewhere at the St James's Park is Newcastle United 2, Everton 2. What, Charlie? Today we've seen goals. Who would have thought? And 4 goals from St James's.
These are matchups that we didn't even expect to be goal leading. Brentford, Burnley 4-3. Who would have thought?
But I mean, Burnley have done that a few times this season. They had that against Wolves. I think Wolves this season where they came back from 2-0 down and eventually, got the winner. And later on, they've shown some resilience. Which is why I thought that at least they were worse than Wolves initially. I think throughout the season they've been moments where they've had life to them. They're just fighting against more quality, and sometimes at the end of the day, sometimes quality always shows in the end. So that was a bad pass.
I thought you would have given it to Frimpong.
But Burnley have, again, too little, too late. But in different moments, they've shown some fight. The game that they won, I think, was it 2 or 3 weeks ago?
I think it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, they had a similar result where I think they came from behind to get something. So.
Come down, you can finish up in Germany, and then you can also still call us 054 996 996 054 996 996. Call us, let's get talking. Well, There is another goal from the St. James's Park. Everton 3, Newcastle United 2. So is it Beto? No, it's not Beto. This one is Tieno Barry. Charlie, that's Beto. Beto's here. Like for like replacement.
Oh no, I think Barry is better than
Barry's better. They are big and very slow.
Because he's young. Barry's young, so they are looking at the ceiling, the potential. That's why he's saying.
Charlie, the person who did the scouting this season, he needs a pay rise because to have found Beto's younger brother.
I think Barry is better.
Barry is better. You pick Barry over
noticeably better. You know, the thing is, you know, with the sort of football that Everton have been playing this season, most of the time it's just, you know, a long kick from Pickford and then
then you have the striker making himself big.
Yes, but then that's not Tieno Barry's style of play. From what I've seen from him, he seems like someone who likes to have the ball at his feet. But he still gets.
Yeah, I think I've seen him do that too.
Yes, but he puts himself about, tries to be physically strong, tries to be steady, wins some balls, loses some. Yes, at the beginning of the season, he really struggled to get that first goal. But once he got it, he's been able to string together a good run of games where he's scoring or assisting. So I think definitely he has a higher ceiling than Beto. But even Tieno Barry right now, I would pick him over Beto. The only reason why he didn't start over Beto today is because in the game against United on Monday, he had some issues with his shoulder. He's had some recurring issues with his shoulder, and he landed quite heavily in the game against United, so he had to be taken off. But apart from that, Barry's a marked improvement over whatever Beto is doing on the pitch.
I think you need to see Barry's finish today. The credit you are giving him is
the thing is that
little and you.
I think he's saying it based on what he's.
I mean, to be fair, I don't remember if he came directly after Jackson, but I know he was one of the players that I think he was at Villarreal, and he had good form there. He wasn't just this big lump up who couldn't score goals, and I wouldn't say he's not in the Baltimore school, but he's good touch for a big man, if I can say that. So it's okay for him. He has improved. He's also improved throughout the season. I think he started quite slowly, but throughout the season he's got better.
Okay, so goal is allowed at Turf Moor. So it's Burnley 3, Brentford 3. 85 minutes played at the Turf Moor. Who wins it or it ends in a draw? Same as the St. James's Park. Looks like Everton will be winning it. And then at Anfield, Liverpool 5, West Ham United 2 in there. So 7 goals from Anfield, 5 goals from the St. James's Park, and then 6 goals from the Turf Moor. Charlie, it's been goals galore this season. This weekend. As for those who went for over 1.5 and 2.0 and
the hat trick is in.
He Pascal. He scored again.
Yeah, hat trick.
Oh, Charlie.
Phenomenal footballer.
In Spain, Barcelona 3, Villarreal 1. Barcelona 3, Villarreal 1. Lamine Yamal with a hat trick. Delivering all the goodies for Barcelona.
Esteval, they should be talking about Garnacho.
No. This one is that's a low blow.
This one, Garnacho. No.
This one. If the Chelsea fans see there's an agenda against them, I think they are right.
Look, I think Esteval.
That's a wonderful pass from
Esteval is
Pedri,
good.
Though, if you look at the assists from Pedri.
He's not at Yamal's level.
No, I'm not saying Yamal.
And he's not at Garnacho's level.
He's not so bad that you can compare him to Garnacho.
Okay, so Jamie Gittins too.
I'll stop that. You let the Chelsea guys come for you.
No, that should tell you.
Esteval is he's injured. I think he played
off the field some issues. I think he lost someone in his family or something.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying this to highlight how, though Chelsea have made a lot of money signing players, and
it hasn't worked out,
and have been busy in the transfer windows in recent years, they still don't. The signings they bring in, it doesn't move the needle. That's the whole point of my statement.
Okay.
It doesn't move the needle.
I think an angry Chelsea fan is calling in to
see how square.
Hi, your name, where are you calling us from, please?
Good evening. My name is Sharu and I'm calling from Kasua.
Your name is?
Shaibu, I'm calling from Kaswa.
Shaibu.
Yeah, calling from Kaswa.
All right, Shaibu, what do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about the Chelsea and PSG.
Please go ahead.
Why my issue is with Yao, always predicting against Chelsea, although it's his opinion, but he is a little bit biased when it comes to Chelsea. I do follow you guys a lot. So I was even very happy that I was able to get through the line today. Always discrediting Chelsea. Why? So that's my problem with Yao. He should be objective when it comes to Chelsea.
All right,
My
thank
issue
you.
is, and I know we surely beat PSG.
Okay.
During the Club World Cup final, he even predicted against Chelsea when we were about to play PSG. Always. He's always on Chelsea. I'm not angry with him, though, but...
All right, Shaibu,
Right.
thank you so much for your time. Let's take our next
Okay,
caller,
bye.
054996 054996. You can call us. Grab your fare here. Hi, your name, where you calling us from, please?
My name is Pepe. I call from Fadaro.
Your name is
Pepe.
Pepe.
Yeah, boss.
All right, talk to me, Pepe. What do you want to talk about?
I always had a listening to your show, but I know the get time to call.
Oh, okay.
I will talk about Bossy out. I don't know what Chelsea do. But times he be biased. Anytime he come talk about Chelsea, you know me, I make my mind say he can't do bias. The situation Chelsea go inside today, tomorrow United in team go the same situation. But you go see say you go massage United in team, you know, you go massage them. But when he be Chelsea, no go kill her. Yeah, so at times they show if you listen where they are the talker. That's what they say in your opinion. So they show you with the light on that. Right. Thank you.
All right, Pepe, we appreciate your time, right? 054996 054996 call us, let's get talking. We have a caller, okay. Hi, your name, where are you calling us from?
Good evening. I'm Jeremiah calling from East Legon.
Jeremiah, can you power up for me, please?
Yeah, I'm Jeremiah calling from East Legon.
Okay, what do you want to talk about?
He be too biased against Chelsea, like be too biased. See, as if I was the talk like this, the boy what he do is no, he can't compare and plus your mouth. The boy he do inside, he can't compare and plus your mouth. We want to go score us now. PSG the Arsenal or we go score them. Thank you.
All right, Jeremiah, thank you so much for your time. 054996 054996. The topic is not just about it's about European football, you see. So I don't know why the Chelsea fans are. You can also call us 054996 054996 call us, let's get talking. Hi, your name, where are you calling us from?
Hello.
Yes, your name, where are you calling us from, please?
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me? 97.3. Welcome to the show.
I can hear you. Afternoon, sir.
Afternoon, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm calling from Asama. My name is Prosper.
Prosper, what do you want to talk about?
Yeah. My concern is about your other colleague, Yao. He always predicted against Chelsea. Sometimes his predictions even doesn't come through. I don't know whether he analyzed the game before predicting or not. So that's my concern. All the same, it's not like I'm angry with him. But he should analyze the game before predicting. Thank you.
Wait, Prosper, can I ask you one question?
You can ask.
What so you are saying that you don't like the way he's overly
analyze the game, especially Chelsea game.
Especially Chelsea. What has he said about Chelsea that you think he's been biased? It's not objective.
Sometimes coach is even United fan, but sometimes
you can see that coach sometimes analyze Man U games. I know coach is a United father. He analyze some games and say, "Oh, United, this game he knows either United."
Prosper,
this guy there, he always predicted against it. I don't know whether he analyzed the game before predicting. Me, I listening. You listen to the program. So at least he has to analyze the game before predicting against the club.
All right, thank you so much, Prosper, for your time. 054996 054996 Call us, let's get talking. I'm Gabi Affair, 97.3. This is the Republic of Football. The poll is still up. Can Dortmund cut the gap to 5 points by beating Bayern later today? You can also leave your votes there. We have 72% already who say no, and 28% who say yes. 054996 054996 You see, football is never devoid of emotions. Sometimes when we say certain things and you're looking at it from a personal
when they say that, we always laugh
objective, you think maybe we dislike something.
I've made a strong appeal that, or strong points that the day you shouldn't be part of the World Cup squad for the Black Stars.
Okay.
But I'm the same person who has reviewed all mitigating factors and has come to the conclusion that if the day you makes it to the World Cup, I wouldn't be surprised. Do I want him to make it to the World Cup? No. Even if it's an expanded roster list. I honestly believe we should do what Brazil have been doing over the years.
Yeah.
Where they see a hot prospect, a youngster, they use that fringe spot or the periphery spot, they give it to that youngster because they see that youngster is the one who is going to be among the leaders at the next World Cup or in the next cycle. And it has worked over the years.
Yeah.
Dating as far back as 1958 when they won their first World Cup with 17-year-old Pelé. You get it? Then they won it in 1970 with Pelé as the mastermind and other great players like Jairzinho and Rivelino and Tostão and those guys. 1994, Ronaldo, Luiz Nazário de Lima. He was 17 years old playing for Cruzeiro in the Brazilian league. He was part of that World Cup. You get it? 4 years later, 4 years later,
and I'm a Traoré,
yeah, 4 years after that World Cup, he was the best player in the world.
Yeah.
1998 World Cup, he went there, he balled out. They got to the final and he went invisible. He had a seizure and all of those things.
Yeah.
And France beat them. Pass the ball, Rashford. Pass the ball, man.
Look at the pass.
Oh no.
So 1998, he got there, he balled out. They didn't win the World Cup, but guess what? 4 years later, he ended up as a top goal scorer, and they won the World Cup. Funny enough, that 2002 squad, there was a youngster in there called Kaká. 4 years later, he was the main man for Brazil. So, for me, do I want the guy to go to the World Cup? No. But I look at all the factors available. If he ends up going, I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay.
So it's not emotions.
Yeah.
It's based on the factors at hand.
It's finished at Anfield, Liverpool 5, West Ham 2. And then at the St. James's Park, Everton have beaten Newcastle United. Brentford are also winning against Brentford. Burnley's 4-3 in favor of Brentford. Hi, and where are you calling us from?
My name is Eugene. I'm calling from Sekeswa.
Eugene, talk to me.
Yeah. Actually, I'm so much disappointed in the Chelsea fans. You see, he's making his point. If you don't agree with him, just... Hello?
Yes, I'm listening, Eugene.
Yeah, I'm saying, if you are a Chelsea fan and you don't agree with Yao, just take it in good faith. But you don't have to come call into the program and accuse him personally. You understand me?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well said, Eugene.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. 054996996. Hi, you know where you're calling us from? Oh my goodness. It's Burnley 4. Brentford 4. Wow. Burnley just will not give up against Brentford. Well, let's get back to the phone lines. Hi, and where are you calling us from?
Please, it's me, Shaibu. I just came back. We are not angry at Yao. But if you see the way coach analyzes the game, even though coach is a Man U fan, but he analyzes the game, he analyzes the matches as it is. But Yao, there is just bias against Chelsea.
How so?
It's too much, but we are not angry at him.
Do you have?
It should just be your objective.
Hello, Shaibu. Shaibu.
Okay, thanks.
Oh my goodness. Daniels, you know it's you. Shaibu, I didn't ask you one question. What? 054996 054996 Call out, let's get talking. Hi, and where are you calling us from?
This is Mohammed Abdul Fattah calling from Accra, Newtown.
Mohammed, talk to me. What do you want to talk about?
Please, the Chelsea fans, I'm very shocked and surprised at them. What are they saying? Are they saying Yao's not express his opinion on Chelsea? Then they should let their club they should stop their club from playing football. It doesn't work like that. Somebody has expressed his opinion on your club. You call it, you don't have anything to contribute. You are disappointed at Yao. What has Yao done? Those Chelsea fans who are saying they are disappointed at Yao, they are not happy about Yao, have they ever made a prediction in favor of Manchester United? Why are they saying that? Yao, continue doing your decent and diligent analysis. Forget about the Chelsea fans. Don't mind them. What kind of life is that? We United fans, we are also there, but we are quiet. We have never called into the program. But I am very surprised and shocked and disappointed at the Chelsea fans, to be frank. They have to cool down. They have to stop what they are doing. If you call into the program, at least do a meaningful contribution. Stop attacking someone's opinion. No, that we don't do that. Yao is always analyzing the games and making his predictions. If you disagree with him, you can also do what? Battle his argument with your own point. That's how analysis goes. But you can't call him, you are disappointed, he predicted against Chelsea all the time. And so what? Is he not a Manchester United fan?
All right.
Those Chelsea fans, have they ever predicted in favor of Manchester United? That is the question to them. Let's stop that thing.
Okay. All
Bye-bye.
right, Mohammed.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
That's it for the callers. Thank you so much for calling us. You get your time, some more time later tomorrow on that. But Burnley say that they will not give up. It's the goal is being checked, right?
The goal is being checked for handball.
Okay.
It looks like the ref is
I
going to choke it off.
Oh boy. Charlie, Burnley have put
Especially after they
a lot
disallowed
of
their
work
winner.
today.
They thought they had scored the winner was disallowed. Now they think they scored the equalizer, and for that to be disallowed as well, that would be very.
That'll be a crash.
Okay.
Very crashing.
Let's see what the verdict would be.
But I love this Brentford jersey.
Yeah, it's so clean. So nice.
Too good.
Yeah.
Too good. And it's quite.
It looks like Burnley. I don't know if that makes sense, but it looks like a Burnley.
Yeah,
kit.
it looks like a Burnley. Yeah,
Burnley
like the
had
home
kit,
kits.
Hey, that's JJ Watt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
he's
home
one of
kits.
the owners
Part
of
owner
Burnley. Yeah.
Oh, child, I feel for Steve Parker because
Scott.
Sorry, confuse my Spider-Man. But but it's looks like the goal will be disallowed.
It looks
I
very likely
think
that
it should stand. It looked very could have been the side of his body, not necessarily his arm. but
Okay. Let's see.
Okay.
Yeah, if he has to explain, he definitely has to give the handball. So
So the referee.
We're still checking, but
And the Steph is not looking best pleased.
yeah,
yeah, I can tell. I
All the
think
hard
the
work
decision is
just about to get undone. You can tell Burnley also need a point. You get a
Oh, yeah,
point
they
today.
definitely. Oh, it's been chalked off.
Yeah.
It's been chalked off, yeah.
It's been
So,
chalked off. Yeah. It's been chalked off.
it looks like
Handball. Yeah, I think it's the right decision because
I think
it
the
looked like
angle
hit
was
there.
bad.
Yeah.
I think from a different angle, it doesn't look as obvious. From that angle, from the side-on angle, it looks like it hit his arm directly. But I think it hits more of his side than his arm. But the goal's been disallowed. So.
Okay, so but Brentford would want to see this out and get a win against Burnley. It will be very disappointing on the part of Brentford to actually have bottled a 3-goal lead.
I mean, if they win this one, they will have what? They'll be
3-goal
7.
lead, yeah.
That's cool.
And I
3-goal
think,
lead.
but Burnley will be disappointed to not get anything from the game. To come back from 3-1 down, equal the game, and think you've even won it.
And especially with the VR decisions.
4 minutes more to end that game. That's
No,
still
the game is over.
It's over.
That was the last.
Oh, okay.
piece of action.
All right,
It was just
so
the
it's over. Brentford with all 3 points against Burnley at the Turf Moor. They delivered all the drama.
Probably
And all
one of
that.
the
7
games of
goals
the
from
season.
Turf Moor. Yeah, 7 goals from Turf Moor. 7 goals from Anfield. 5 from the St James's Park, and then 2 from the Vitality Stadium early on today. Guys, concluding thoughts on today, and then it's a wrap. We'll be back same time tomorrow to run you through the games for tomorrow and also look into today's games. Let me start off with you, Kobna. Just concluding thoughts on wherever you want to start from.
You know, I said my feature game for today would be Newcastle and Everton. My colleagues.
We said
to
our
my
game was
right.
going to be boring.
Yeah, but you know, I guess I saw something in there.
I mean, to be fair, it was the
at
most boring out of the 3.
Yeah,
games.
to be frank with you, I mean, with all of the action that went on, that was the most boring. But
Yeah.
I mean, there was no room for any, pedestrian football today. Everyone took the game by the jugular. There wasn't much defending going on. Everyone was on the attack from minute 1 to minute 90. I mean, even going over 100 minutes. But I'm very pleased with the football we've seen today. I mean, with the exception of the Bournemouth and Sunderland game, which I don't want to give too much airtime. But for the rest of the games, I'm very pleased. I think it's good to have even just a day of football with, high octane, high drama, high stakes. Everyone is playing out of their skin. Nobody's playing with fear. Nobody's playing for a draw or anything of the sort. Everyone has come out with, a singular objective to win. And I mean, if it's a dangerous style of play, as we've seen with West Ham coming in, trying to come back, but then eventually losing 5-2. So at the end of the day, I guess in future, most likely we'll see more game management from Premier League teams. But it's good on the rare occasion where we get to see goal-laden weeks like this. We're all very happy. And today, with Yao's predictions concerning Chelsea, well, Chelsea is playing tomorrow, so let's see. But today, Yao has become even more popular than he already is. He's gotten some fans, he's made some enemies, but he's still our guy nonetheless.
Concluding thoughts on
Defend yourself from Chelsea fans.
Oh no! I mean, look, at the end of the day,
You'll be waiting in the car park.
What is it called? Occupation hazard.
Yeah, occupation hazard.
It comes with it, so we just take it. Anyways, goals galore, brilliant stuff in the 3 p.m. Batch of games.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the Man City game to be another good one against Leeds United. But the stand-up performance, I have to give it to Everton because, Brentford, they beat Burnley in a dramatic way, but it was quite expected. It wasn't something that's very surprising. Liverpool beating West Ham by 5-2. Yeah, no surprising there. But Everton moving over to St James's Park, where a venue that a lot of teams struggle because of the way Newcastle play when they play at home, and for Everton to go there and get that win in such a dramatic style, on the back of losing to the likes of Manchester United, not picking up points in recent outings. I think for me that was very impressive, and I was blown away by that result. So that for me was a stand-up result for me.
Okay, Kwache, you have the final say.
Just a good day of Premier League football. I think this Premier League season to me feels like, especially since Wolves arrival, this feels like the most anyone can beat anyone season. Looks like Lewandowski just scored for Barca, but it's offside. But it feels like anyone can beat anyone, and I think that's mainly because none of the teams at the top have been exceptional. So you haven't had a City running away with it, you haven't had a Liverpool running away with it.
Yeah.
So it's meant that there's a closer gap between all the teams. So you can even see teams like Wolves and Burnley, going up against feasibly literally anybody in the league, even Arsenal, like you saw, and thinking that they can still get results. So for the big teams, whether that being Liverpool, it's good to get a result that you need. For Newcastle, they are still on this tangent where it feels like they have an incredible season, and then the next season when they have to juggle either being successful, mixing it with Europe, they struggle a bit. Yeah, but yeah, just a good day of football, and tomorrow will be very interesting to see what happens with regards to the title picture.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate all of you who texted into the show and called into the show. Let me just do the final update for the last poll that we put up on in Germany. If Dortmund can cut the gap to 5 points with a win over Bayern today, we have yes for 29%, no for 71%. So people think that Dortmund would not do anything, just bottle it again against Bayern Munich. Let's see, that game is at 5:30 tomorrow. The guys will be here to get into what happened at the Signal Iduna Park. Thank you, guys. Our guys on YouTube, Sweet Kwame, Eric Trinebois, all the guys on YouTube. Lots of the names, I can't mention all of it, but you guys are.
Shouts to Shaibu and Prosper.
I'll say Josiah, Bernard 614. Oh yeah, Charlie. The guys are always here active with us every weekend, Saturday, Sunday.
Have we mentioned Sweet Kwame?
Yeah, Sweet Kwame. He's always part of the first five people who would text into the show.
Absolutely.
Guys, we appreciate you. Tomorrow we're back with some more exciting games. Chelsea, Arsenal. The pick for Sunday at 4:30. The guys will be here to run it through, and then some more good games in the French Liga, the Spanish La Liga, and also the Ghana Premier League. Lots of games tomorrow, though.
Yeah, big games.
Yeah.
Any goal starts against House of Hope.
Yeah, AC Milan will be in action against Cremonese tomorrow in the Italian Serie A. So the guys will be here. Madrid will be in action later on Monday. Tomorrow they're not playing, but the guys will be here to run you through. Thank you so much. This has been the Republic of Football 97.3. We'll be back same time tomorrow, 2 to 5 p.m. every weekend, Saturday, Sunday. I'm Gabi Ofe. You heard from Yao Eje Minta, Manuel Angelo Kwache, and then Kwabna Ben. Technical support from Daniel Squashy. Always keeping up with the updates and paying our attention to where the goals are dropping in from the match venues. Same time tomorrow, the Republic of Football, 2 to 5 p.m. Don't miss out.